This land is wild, raw, and relentless. For countless generations, those who ventured here learned one truth, that out here, nothing comes easy. Every second is a battle against the terrain, against the elements, against yourself. On these trails, the land decides who makes it through. Every rock, every drop, every twist and turn, it tests you. Push too hard and it reminds you who's in charge. But out here, hard isn't a reason to give in. It's why we keep going. Strength runs deep in the veins of this island. It's brutal. It's relentless. Oh! It's hard. But that's exactly why we've come.
Oh, yeah!
Welcome to the ultimate test. Welcome to Red Bull Hardline Tasmania.
Yeah, boy!
All right, then let's get this season started. Hello and welcome to the island just off the south coast of Australia. We are back here for Red Bull Hardline Tasmania 2025. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rob Warner, and I know that this man is definitely as excited as I am to see what will unfold here this afternoon. Elliot Jackson. As ever, Elliot, a spectacular week to get to this point, right?
Well, Red Bull Hardline is just such a unique event. The riders show up on a Monday, they start unlocking the course. There's so much camaraderie, following each other, kind of checking speeds, and this year is no different. I think that Tasmania has bumped it up one notch, and I can't wait to see what unfolds today.
None of us can. A bigger, faster, bolder track, that's for sure. And of course, last year we had an absolutely phenomenal race here for the first time. If you missed it or forgot, here's a little reminder. Welcome to Australia for the first ever Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. So many fans have made their way here.
It's going to be an amazing time here in Tasmania.
And look at the start list. Gracey Hemstreet will be the first woman to drop.
After 10 years of racing hardline, we finally witnessed the girl do top to bottom.
How much fun were you having out there?
The best time of my life.
So far it's looking pretty fast.
Red Bull Hardline is honestly the sickest event in mountain biking.
This is incredible! Giving the crowd what they want. Beautiful shots of these riders flying. Goldstone then on track. Oh, the big crash for Goldstone! Oh! It's getting tight at the top here at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Unbelievable to watch. The confidence is there for Brannigan, Bernard Kerr. This is looking phenomenal. And it's Ronan Dunn that wins Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Well, I don't know about you, Elliot, but I don't think I'll ever forget seeing Jackson Goldstone ejected, coming at the camera at that speed without his bike. I mean, what a moment.
Oh my, I mean, I don't think we expected it. There's so many features on this track, and Jackson Goldstone is no stranger to riding through incredibly difficult rock sections, but it just shows you that the entire track here at Red Bull Hardline can catch you out at any moment.
And he wasn't hanging about, let's be honest. Well, we've got some Australian biking royalty with us this afternoon. Caroline Buchanan, an 8-time world champion, is going to be trackside for us all afternoon, and here she is with an update.
What an honour to be down here. The crowd is building at the finish circle of Red Bull Hardline 2025. We've got an update of two number 2 qualifiers unfortunately sitting out racing today. They've both had a crash. Ronan Dunn and Eris van Leuven will not be competing today. We wish them all the best in the upcoming World Cup season. They're in the best medical hands and the show must go on. We have all the other riders about to drop in. Let's get rowdy.
Yeah, we are about to get rowdy, that's absolutely for sure. And Elliot, it has been, as ever, a rowdy week here, but the track, like I said, it's faster, bigger this year. The surface as well, a bit tricky. I mean, what have you made of it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's pretty incredible to see the times, right? I think in seeding yesterday, we had a 3:08. That was last year's time. The winning time was a 3:08. And yesterday, the times were only about 10 seconds slower, and we have an extra kind of 300 meters of track, so over 10% longer track. So it shows you the speeds that the riders are going at this year.
Yeah, it's maxed out. I mean, I don't think it's every day of the week that you approach a jump. Someone was clocked up there across the creek gap, 81 kilometres an hour. You know, that's like 55. That's like near the UK speed limit. It's insane.
For sure. Well, I mean, we can kind of see it up. Last year, we finished kind of in that bowl area. Now we have a new 55-foot step down. We were talking about it's almost like an AMA Supercross here with the on-off.
Yeah, and watching these riders through here this morning. And then, of course, Elliot, this big new jump.
Let me actually take the audience over here, because this jump has caused so much kind of drama, so much excitement. We saw Asa Vermette in seeding yesterday throw this huge whip, almost overcorrect, and Matt Jones as well, right?
Matt Jones is going to be doing maybe something very, very special off there that I won't forget as well. Absolutely incredible. Well, I don't know which genius signed off on this, but here's a course preview you'll never forget.
What's up, guys? I'm Matt Jones. I'm with Jackson Goldstone and Ronan Dunn. This is the Red Bull Hardline Tasmania 2025 course preview. You ready, boys?
Yeah. Let's get it.
See if you can overtake me.
Here we go, everyone. There's going to be a lot of talking down here between all three of us. I'm going to try a different line. But welcome to the course preview following Matt Jones and Ronan Dunn.
That one's chill. This one's much bigger. Yeah, now into the dust.
Oh, I don't like going this slow into this one. Oh, we're spent though.
Technical feature coming up. Whoa. I nearly actually slipped.
Yeah, have a fun little lap following these boys. I'm struggling with the dust though. Okay, through the rock section where I crashed last year. I'm through, boys, I'm through! I made it! Into the Schrauper. Whap!
Oh, it's so steep! Oh! Oh my God! Jonesy hit a tree!
Here we are into the big one. Got the drone behind me, I can hear it. Oh yeah! Go up the highway. I'm gonna try and get close as I can to Ronan here. Oh my goodness! With the draft, it's insane.
Going up to a 60-foot gap. Whoa. Yeah, hard on the brakes, coming to a loose bit. Oh, come on, Jonesy! Hold on to her, boy! Oh, he's
into what we call the Supercross section. Me and Ronan going low.
Jonesy's starting to piss me off, so I think I might get the overtake on this. Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh!
Into the final section here. Big old road gap coming up. Whop!
From now on, we're going fucking full whack. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Everything you got! Come on! Come on! Oh, cruisy over there.
Going into the bottom bit of the track. We got a new step down as well. Whoa, a bit deep.
Whoa! End of the last bit. This section's all new. We're coming in.
Woo! Carrying all the speed. Yeah, boy. Fuck yeah.
I did a full run. Yes, man. Yes, boy. 2025 course preview. Completed.
I'm flying home.
That's the highlight of the week right there.
That was savage.
Bang!
Well, thankfully, the only thing that got injured during the filming of that was Matt Jones's
when he
ego.
got overtaken. No, but man, that captures the vibe of Red Bull Hardline so perfectly. You have so many different disciplines competing against each other, doing a backflip over an 80-foot jump.
Yeah, how's that all right?
Insane.
But, you know, let's talk a little bit about the surface this year, because it's a big factor, right?
Yeah, I think you hear the riders talking about how it's more technical, and we'll get into it in depth in the commentary, but there's a hard base now, and you have this kind of layer of silt and sand, so you have to be really, really, really careful with your brakes. You don't want to lock up the back end or anything like that, so the riders are going to be really trying to find edges to turn on.
Yeah, faster and more slippery. There's your results then from qualifying. Asa Vermette, Ronan Dunn, unfortunately, won't be starting. Jackson Goldstone just 3 seconds off. I mean, pretty mouth-watering prospect. What do you think, Elliot? Do you think Asa's got more? Do you think Jackson's got more?
I think everyone's got more, and I think that there's a couple of dark horses out here. You have Connor Fearon, you have Troy Brosnan.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bernard Kerr is no stranger to winning Red Bull Hardline, so it's anyone's game.
It definitely is. One run will bring it home. And the man who did take seeding yesterday is down with Caroline.
We've just seen an update of the course, and no better man than to talk us through exactly what conditions are out there at the moment. Asa Vermette, all the way from Colorado, USA. How is it?
Today's been pretty good. Just did 2 laps this morning before the race run, but track's running good. It's just as blown out as it was yesterday. Hasn't gotten any better, but all the loose sections are running probably quicker. This bottom bit was especially quicker. I overshot a couple of the jumps, but yeah, it's going good.
And as the youngest ever Red Bull Hardline male competing, who have you got from your support circle and family here today?
I got my mom and my friend coming over to film me. My mechanic / team manager, Nico Mullally, is out here. And then all my friends and family are watching the live TV too, so that'd be super cool.
We are the last man to drop into the hill today. Congratulations on that #1 seating position. We are looking forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Just 18 years old. Yeah, this is a massive day for Asa Vermette, the junior world champion. Let's have a look then at what happened in that seeding run yesterday. Gracey Hemstreet, the only woman ever to do a top to bottom in one, managed it again yesterday in that seeding run.
Man, you just see how hard she has to work for those jumps at the bottom, not having the weight of some of the other riders, but it's just so good to see that top to bottom getting done.
Connor Fearon, Australia's fastest electrician, new bike for him. Motoring, actually, Matthew DePal, his team manager from last year, said give him some. He can go way faster than that.
I love it. And then obviously Jackson Goldstone. You see here, he's just chilling, scrubbing, you know, having fun. And I saw a run in practice. I saw some early images, and he was on fire. So look for that time to come down.
I think he's got more to play with. And we think this man has too. Asa Vermette, absolute perfection yesterday, wasn't it? Just incredible.
It was, and I think that, you know, we saw a couple of images of him last year in those junior broadcasts, but I think, to me, this is Asa Vermette's introduction to the world.
This is the first time that he will. He's got another year in junior ahead of him. This is the first time he's going to go up against the world's elite riders, the best in the world. Yeah, amazing. Well, let's go down to Caroline, who's with Gracey.
We've just seen the highlights from yesterday's seeding run, and we've got Gracey Hemstreet, the #1 women's qualifier. Talk me through the momentum of the week. It started off slow, you came in injured. How has the momentum built to today?
Yeah, well, I came in all good, and then, the morning I just tweaked my back. So, yeah, I skipped the first 2 days of practice, but managed to complete most of the run on the 3rd day of practice, so that was a relief.
We saw you do a top to bottom yesterday. What does it mean for the ladies? You're now competing for a podium. What is the future of Red Bull Hardline for women?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like, this is the first year that the ladies actually have a podium and prize money and the other things that guys have, so yeah, it's pretty insane. It's awesome.
We wish you all the best.
All right. Well, Ellie.
I was like, Rob, I have a secret. No.
Amazing. But, you know, so what do you expect to see this afternoon? Can anyone get on the pace of Asa and Jackson?
I mean, I think that there's a couple of different storylines, right? Like, you have Asa versus Jackson, these kind of 2 young phenoms. You have Bernard Kerr trying to take it back, and I think
he's
Gracey
won 3 of them.
For sure. I mean, I think it's so cool that what Gracey said, being able to have this progression of women's riding here at Red Bull Hardline. It's really special. I think that we'll see that continue throughout the years.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely massive week. We're going to have Valley Hull, the world champion, female world champion, with us in commentary as well. But this is going to be amazing. We're about to go racing here. We've been waiting a long time for Red Bull Hardline Tasmania to come around again. We're going to leave you with this. We'll see you right after, though, with the racing. See you in a minute.
Fly high, I'ma fly high. I'ma fly high, I'ma fly high. Let it ride. Let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride.
Hello, if you've just joined us, welcome to Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. We're in Maydena Bike Park on the island of Tasmania, about 150 miles off the south coast of Australia. I'm Rob Warner. Alongside me in commentary is going to be Elliot Jackson and, of course, Valentina Hull making her way in here as well.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for. We've seen the riders taking off the features. We've seen them picking up speed. First rider to drop in is going to be Charlie Hatton.
Followed by Roger Vieira, Josh Bryceland, Ratboy, Gracey Hemstreet, the only woman at start, Matt Jones. 3 times a world champion of downhill. Sam Hill returns to racing. On the second page, Dan Booker, the local here in Maydena. He might do something special. Tuhoto-Ariki Pene as well from New Zealand. Before we go to the last page, Bernard Kerr, a 3-time winner. Connor Fearon, Jackson Goldstone, Asa Vermette, Troy Brosnan in there as well. The man who won the last World Cup in 2024. This is going to build. This is going to be brilliant.
This is going to be so good. And we got to introduce our special guest here, Valentina Hull. How are you doing? How has the week been for you?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm actually quite nervous to do the commentary right now. I actually struggle to watch people race, so it's going to be twice as nervous for me.
Well, Charlie Hatton had a massive one, actually, over the Wombat Gap. We'll show you it in a few moments' time when he gets there. But big accident for Hatton yesterday. Great to see him on the start line today.
Yeah, I mean, and Charlie, they've got that new bike, the new belt drive, and the gearbox bike. This is really the first time that they've been able to put some speed on it. I mean, Valley, you've shown up to races early in the season, having a new bike. What is that like to really test something out for the first time?
I mean, it's definitely early in the season. Like, it's only February, and you have to be on race pace, and you have to get your suspension dialed and everything. So it's not an 100% comfortable race, I would say, because you're not 100% dialed yet, but it doesn't look like it is slowing down him.
No, 2023 world champions through that Shroud turn there. Momentum looking good so far down here, but incredible. You can see the dust coming up, and you can actually see the sort of polished track in the middle, how hard pack it is. That loose dust on top, making it incredible slippery through the first split then for Hatton.
Yeah, and that was kind of what we've been talking about. You saw Charlie kind of over jump where he would have got on the brakes a little bit harder and then lost traction. So any kind of little mistake or getting offline or taking a little bit too much speed into a section, coming into this section that he crashed in yesterday, the Wombat Gap opts to not do it.
Don't blame him for that one bit. He started crashing up there, and it was towards the bottom of that ramp where he ended. A critical right-hander now coming up on this course before they go into the Fernery, the highway section. Got to carry speed through it and onto this straight, because it does set your speed for an awful long way now.
Yeah, Valley, how fast is this section when you're riding it?
Oh, it's insane, especially in the woods. Like, the Fernstrasse pass is so quick, and you have to be pumping. There's no second where you have time. You have to carry speed through all the turns, the doubles, the tiny gaps. And then you have that massive, like, 60-foot jump. It's, yeah, mental.
Is it, when you're riding something like that, is it more of a mental task than it is physical?
Oh, yeah, definitely mental, at least for me.
Do you brake along there at all, Valley?
No, I tried not to touch the brakes, and I just followed DK behind it and just hoped he knows what he's doing.
Right.
So Hatton across that big camber, held a high line there. Now the track starts to break up a little bit. Some deep, dusty berms down here.
Yeah, and we'll see that turn right there is right after the key section. We'll see that play a large part into it. Right-hander's a really important part. This is that super cross section.
I love that stall wall or single, whatever you want to call it. The commitment from some riders off there yesterday was frightening.
Charlie looking good down at the bottom here, trying to straighten up these switchbacks as much as he can.
Oh, big pace through there. Putting that crash well and truly behind him yesterday. How deep is the dust down here, Valley?
Man, it looks terrible. Like, I think it just got so much more slippier and deeper throughout the last few days. I think we had a bit of rain overnight, if I'm right, but it doesn't look like it affected the track at all. So it will be tough for the riders who have to start last.
And now this last sharp fin is going to be full tuck down to the creek gap. 80 feet across there. Some riders going much further, and now into this new section, a 55-foot step down, and then followed by an on-off, and then into this 80-foot finish line jump. Here comes Charlie Hatton, then he's going to set the first time of the day. It's been a great run, especially considering yesterday 3:26.697, 7 seconds outside the fastest time in that seeding run of Asa Vermette from yesterday. But I think Charlie's going to be happy with that.
Yeah, he'll be happy. I'm sure he's a little bit sore from that crash, getting a bit winded yesterday. But that was it's a good time. I mean, that would have put him, right inside that top 7 yesterday. I know people were on it. Charlie really liking competing in these Red Bull hardline events. We'll see him again in Wales, airing it out.
Yeah, great to see him picking himself up off the ground yesterday to put a run like that together. Kind of stuff. The mettle of a world champion, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, complete the week, so yeah, sick week, so thank you very much. Oh, that was wild.
Oh, that was wild. I heard him say so. All the way from Brazil, although he does actually reside in the UK, Roger Vieira. 4:39 for him in qualifying. His first dropping in for the first time into a hardline race run.
Yeah, and Roger has just been getting, I think, better and better. Opting for that inside there. You can kind of keep going into that kind of rut. And Valley, I mean, there's always a trade-off. Like, do you try to shave off time or try to find some support? Like, what was that track like for you to try to find traction up there?
I mean, we were just practicing the first couple of days, and it was prime conditions. Like, all the guys were working super hard on track. Every night they went back up to clean out the track. It's like something that we don't have at the World Cup. So it's, it's super great for us riders to know that there are no rocks on track and it's quite clean.
Right.
Just pushing the front a little bit there in that loose dust, as you said, yeah. Track definitely breaking up more and more as the week goes on, but Vieira carrying good speed down here at the moment. Gets tight there, coming up towards the first split of Charlie Hatton, that 56.6. What's he done then, Vieira?
Yeah, and you'll see Roger kind of like squaring up the turns just a little bit. I think the track has definitely gotten a little bit faster, so saw it happen with Charlie, but also with Roger jumping a little bit further maybe than they were used to, and maybe missing a couple of little lines that they would have gotten in seeding yesterday.
Absolutely. Now important, this super important, that left-hander, if you're going to go for that gap there. He probably didn't get that turn as clean as he would have liked. Goes for a gap a little bit lower down. The real amazing thing is someone does the wombat gap and then that second gap.
There is
only
a double-double
Yeah, there is a double-double. Gets nice and early into that right-hander there.
Yeah, and we were talking about that last year. That right-hander loses 1.8 and that little key section. Valley, like, when you have a turn coming onto a really fast section like that, how do you kind of mentally prepare? Do you try to like break up a little bit, especially when it starts to get eaten away and it gets soft?
Well, I mean, it's a tough ask. I mean, there's so much going on this track, and as we said, like, you could break up the track and make like 4 different races out of it, because you have like a downhill track in the middle, super cross part, enduro trails, kind of like, it's insane, and you just, I guess, try to stay focused and breathe as much as possible.
Yeah, Roger really looking good. You can see him kind of like finding these little channels to do his turns on. So we have the key section up. Charlie with a 8.4. Roger beating that time with a 8.1.
No way. Well, that's good to see. He made a couple of cases actually on that highway section. Didn't have the highest top speed, but fighting back now through that supercross section. 2 different lines into it. Most riders favouring that lower entrance in. Did you try both lines there, Valley?
Yeah, we did, and it was funny to see because all the slopestyle guys, more freeride guys, would take the on-off jump, and all the racers were going as fast as possible and low as possible. So it's cool that everyone can ride whatever they prefer.
Sure. Roger really trying to step it up down to the bottom. I think just a couple of mistakes slowed him down at the top.
Yeah. Still 7.1 back off Charlie Hatton, though. Don't forget Hatton, world champion, though, in 2023. That was impressive after Hatton was laid out on the track yesterday. Vieira, the reigning Brazilian national champion for downhill across the creek gap he goes. Off the brakes all the way around this long right-hander. Oh, how is this new section? It looks actually insane, Valley.
I mean, it's mental. It reminds me of Darkfest, and that they can do it after like a 3-minute downhill run is insane.
Yeah.
Like, so much respect.
Vieira crosses the line in a second 7 into the red. What a week he's had.
Yeah, that's great for Roger. He's stoked to get a good run down. I know he'll want to come back again next year. I think, you know, we heard Charlie say that, like, to finish a week is just awesome. And you could see just how soft it is. I think the track, you know, we haven't had any rain. They've done such a good job at getting it kind of packed in, but now the track is deteriorating where you have these really hard packed sections, and then you have to, you know, do something really technical there. At every single run, the track has kind of changed. You may have a little bit less support in this section, a little bit more support in another.
Oh,
Roger!
Oh my goodness me. Well, there's your first 2 riders safely down here this afternoon.
It's hard here, lad.
As we go back to the top for a man who is more Weatherspoon than Silver Spoon, the People's Champion, the 2014 overall World Cup winner, Josh Bryceland, Ratboy. First time here in Tasmania.
You just love to see it.
I love to see it. I love his style. And yesterday, had a little lie down in his qualifier. We're not quite sure what happened.
Well, I was talking to him earlier in the week, and he said, you know, I came off that container gap, and I just kind of crumpled, right? Like, I'm on flat pedals. I don't, you know, I'm used to riding the slick stuff because in the UK, it's always muddy, but
yeah, it's not the dry, dusty kind of slippery at home.
Right, yeah.
I promise you. But good to see Ratboy back. Yeah, exactly. Saying he wants to get back in a race a little bit this year on that prototype Cannondale downhill bike. Said there's a new one coming later this year as well.
You know, he's always had this super kind of lazy style. I remember watching him in Hafiel, and he was messing with his goggles. I was like, oh, he's down or whatever, and he's actually up by 2 or 3 seconds. So
yeah, he has a lazy kind of style. He always did, even at his peak, you know, and he don't be, well, 5.2 back, so not on the move like he could have been today then. Yeah. 5 back at that split. That's a big margin for Ratboy to pull back now. Over the 17-metre log gap. And then this section, which has had all the dirt pulled off it this year. It's more difficult than it was 12 months ago.
Yeah, you really have to find something to turn on to get up to the top of that rock section, because the rocks are completely off camber. So it's, if you don't get your turn made or you miss your braking point, then you're kind of teeing up that left-hand turn at the bottom.
So Ratboy finds himself further into the red, 9 off now. It's hard to see whether he's really attacking or not, because as we say,
that's
how he is. Yeah, exactly. The racing drone last year I got in trouble with the racing drone pilots yesterday. They said last year we said the drones couldn't keep up. Apparently that's not true.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
They can actually overtake the bikes whenever they want.
Okay. Yeah,
55 kilometers an hour through the speed trap for Ratboy.
How is it riding with drones, Valley? Like, can you hear it when you're got your helmet on?
I think the problem is once you hear them, you know you're going too slow because you're not focused enough.
Right. That's totally true.
That cam was a little bit different than it was last year. There was a catch berm that most of the riders were using as we look at this key section. If you remember, only George Brannigan kind of stayed out of that lower line and was fastest through the key section for the whole of the race.
Yeah, and there's a lot more line choice than you would imagine here. And I think even a lot more line choice than there was last year.
Over the single then, yeah, scrubbing over there, Ratboy. But not looking too stressed, I think it's fair to say.
No, I think it's good for him to get just a race under his belt. I mean, So cool to see him back at another Red Bull Hardline. We saw him in Wales definitely a couple times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was sick to see him preparing for the race run, because he's like one of the few guys who like really chilled out. I think he took a little nap or like,
Did he?
It was, yeah.
I'd imagine it was a different kind of approach to most others. 20 back now for Bryceland then.
Do you get stressed before your runs, Valley?
I feel like it's getting less and less, but I think Hardline is a completely different story. I think everyone will be stressed.
Over the creek gap for Bryceland, went deep there. Matt Jones said he went 120 feet over that gap earlier in the week. So last section then for Ratboy, completing a Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Let's hear it. Over the line he goes. Fantastic. Third for him, 346.7. 19 riders left to drop.
He's stoked. That's got to feel good. I mean, everything on this course, right, is over 50, 60 feet. Styling it out. I mean, that's got to be intimidating. What was that like, doing that over that log for the first time? It's not like you can roll it.
I mean, you have to commit. You can't do half-half.
What's it like pointing your bike at a jump? I'd imagine faster than you ever have before. Is that a thing? Have you ever gone that fast at a jump like you have this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's mad. You just need, when you push back up and you start, and you obviously start like a couple 100 meters before that massive feature, you just, when you take off, you have to commit.
Your heart's beating out of your chest before you drop in.
Okay, well, last year, this woman was the first to ever do a top to bottom of a Red Bull Hardline track. Gracey Hemstreet is back for more. A great seeding run from her yesterday. And I imagine, Valley, you know, you've been on the course, you know just how hard it is. Incredible.
I mean, I have so much respect for Gracey. This is so cool and so cool for women's sport. I mean, she didn't even ride the first 2 days of practice because she tweaked her back. So I was joking, well, welcome to your 20s. But yeah, it's mental. Like, she was so, like, just see her ride. She's so confident on big features and jumps. And, you know, man, I'm blown away. I'm, like, so happy to get to know her. And what she's doing is so impressive.
It is, yeah. Amazing. We had Eris van Leuven as well. Actually, was hoping to be in this final this afternoon. A case on the creek gap this morning, ruling her out. So we wish her a speedy recovery. But Gracey carrying good pace up here through these ferns, through these trees.
Yeah, she's so composed, and you know, it looks like nothing. It's amazing.
2022, the Junior World Cup winner. Now riding for Greg Minnaar, of course.
New team director, that Norco factory team.
And a great end of season for her last year in the World Cups. Actually fractured her hand in Val di Sole, but then came back for an incredible second place on home soil in Mont Saint-Anne at the finals. But yeah, her confidence over big jumps, over the features is astonishing. Maybe that's partly because she grew up in Coast Gravity Park, I don't know.
Yeah, and Valley, what are you kind of seeing as you watch her ride? Like, what are you looking for?
I mean, I'm just blown away, as I said. Like, I wish I could be fearless like her, and I mean, just trying to get it done. And I think the most important thing is to put a full run together, because I mean, obviously, until the big jumps, it's the same stuff we have at the World Cups as well, pretty much. Maybe a bit bigger jumps in the middle, but yeah, for her it's just like make it down and pull hard for the last couple of jumps.
And you must be pretty exhausted, right? I mean, you're not exactly fresh when you get to the biggest jumps on the track.
Well, I can imagine that Gracey really prepared well for this event. Like, you can't do half-half things, like as I said. And I mean, they've been in Queenstown a couple of weeks, and they have a good coach, Ellen Milway. And I mean, she's a racer and needs to prepare for the upcoming World Cup season as well. So I think, you know, she's in a really good shape. 52
clicks through there.
Oh,
beautiful
easy.
over there.
So good.
Yeah, she's rad. Hatton fastest in 57 on the speed trap so far.
And you can see her, that top speed. I mean, Gracey third place right now with a 52.9.
Yeah, Vieira, those couple of cases on that highway definitely took the wind out of his sails. Nice and high across there for Hemstreet in this key section now, rocks flying.
Yeah, it seems to get looser and looser now, so it will be interesting at the end. of the race.
Yeah, the rain overnight has actually made zero difference. It might as well have not bothered. Through the Supercross section. Good to see so many fans here.
Oh, so good.
Such a remote part of the world.
Let's go, Gracey!
Her dad's here with her as well. Seems quite calm, actually. I don't think I'd be that calm if my daughter was doing this.
No, and when I watch her, right, like, I mean, the lines that she's taking, you know, how composed she is on her bike, like you were saying, Valley, just kind of easy style, saving the energy.
A few pedals into the container, step down.
A perfect landing.
And now she's just going to be off the brakes and giving it everything she can all the way down here, trying to get these couple of shark fins absolutely perfect. That one there is huge. So Hemstreet sends it. She's over it with ease. Amazing.
Insane. So good to see.
So Gracey Hemstreet then. It's looking like it's going to be another top to bottom for her. Just this final jump to go, a couple of pedals. Gracey Hemstreet has done it. She crosses the line at 4:06. Congratulations, amazing.
Oh my God, this is so insane. Good job, Gracey.
And that is the win of the women's category here, of course. She's the only woman to drop today. Incredible to see that.
History made for sure.
Yeah, amazing.
She makes it look too easy. Like, she just makes it look, yeah, I could go and do that, no problem. I'm going to land perfectly right up at the top of the landings, whip it out.
Yeah, it's mad. It makes me want to go up now and try. It's a really bad idea.
That is amazing.
Incredible stuff, yeah. So comfortable. Got through a week here. All the practices, you said, Valley, missed a couple of days as well at the start of the week. So amazing to get back up to speed. Get on level terms.
Yeah.
And style it out over that huge 80-foot jump at the end of the track, huh? Okay, let's go down to Caroline, who is with Grace.
Gracey Hemstreet, you made that top to bottom run look easy, blasting that last jump. Talk me through that run.
It was sick. It was just what I wanted to do, just be smooth and have fun. And so that was good.
From last year, you're the wild card. You then were the fastest on course. You run Rider of the Week last year. You're now the overall champion. What's this moment mean to you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pushing the other girls would be up with me today, but next year, we all got it.
Well, congratulations, Maydena fans. Give it up for your 2025 official Red Bull Women's Champion of Hardline.
Amazing. What a day for Gracey Hemstreet. She won't forget that. Well, it's Matt Jones next, Sam Hill, Darcy Coutts. Keep an eye on him. G. Atherton, of course, a world champion in the past. But let's focus on Matt Jones now, who has blown my mind, actually. He comes from a world of plywood, from skate parks, and now he's adapted, got a downhill bike, and is tackling the world's hardest downhill track. I can't believe it.
Well, look at that start. He came out like you know, he's hot.
Proper racer.
Yeah, proper. I mean, he's been training with Ronan and
training is the right word.
Well, they were pulling him into the steepest, you know, most technical stuff. He's like, whatever you guys are doing today, I'm doing today.
Yeah, I mean, he has been on 2 weeks training boot camp in Queenstown, so there are no excuses this weekend.
No.
He's even, last year, if you remember, because he's used to riding, you know, hardtails in skate parks, he basically had his suspension solid. He's actually let a bit of pressure out, and you can actually see those forks moving this year, which is insane.
That's good.
It took him a long time to get used to having suspension. Down through that rock garden, that's where Jackson Goldstone crashed out last year.
Yeah, and Matt, I mean, it's just one of those incredibly talented riders. You see him one day, a viral clip of him jumping over his house. The next day, he's at Red Bull Hardline. I mean, the next day, he's commentating Roof Ride with you.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what the best thing is? He is out of his comfort zone here, and he absolutely loves it. It's like, it's something new to him, a new challenge. 8.2 back at split one, down the 10-meter vertical drop into the 17-meter. Loads of style there, of course.
Yeah, is that, I mean, for you, Valley, too, is that coming to a Hardline, having a new challenge? I think both you and Matt are just incredibly accomplished. They keep it fresh?
I mean, definitely. I mean, at least Matt has some skills with big jumps where, like, for me, it was like, okay, it's the first time in my life I've seen such massive features. I mean, it's funny because when you talk even to Simon, Gauthier and everyone, like, they are so confident with the big jumps at the top, but they are scared of the tech stuff at the top, where I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, everyone has their strength.
Yeah, it's totally true. I mean, talking to Simon Gauthier about Red Bull Rampage, and you hear him just say, yeah, I'll backflip that and things like that, and then you come here and there's a rock guard and he's like, well, I don't know.
13 back at split 2 then for Matt Jones. Still pressing on down here. I mean, this is a man who was one of the best slopestyle riders on the planet. What's a slopestyle run? 30 seconds?
Right. But he's riding like so good.
He rides so good. And the improvement.
And I love seeing him, that kind of slopestyle influence. You'll see him kind of save a little bit of energy by hopping over. There he is, 3rd place in the key section.
Look at that.
So it's
Rat Boy, amazing. And taking the highline, as you said,
yeah,
the 3 riders, like the step on, step off.
Anytime they can be in the air is a good time.
Feels more natural. Wheels off the ground.
But yeah, I mean, this run compared to Matt's last year's run at Hardline Tasmania, it's just, he's so much smoother. You can see he's playing with the bike still at the bottom of the track, so he's got a lot more fitness, a lot more control.
Well, I guess the suspension helps now.
That's true.
That's true. Even brought a mechanic. He's got his boss here, John Oldale, on tools for him this week. Few pedals into the road. Gap the step down now then for Matt Jones. Respectable run, but now he comes into the part of the track where he can really excel.
Yeah, now he's comfortable.
Now he's never felt better. And actually, talking to these a lot of these slopestyle freeriders, they're saying that even at Darkfest, they don't approach that step up as fast as they do these jumps here. This is the fastest. So Matt Jones has done something very special over this last jump. The last couple of days, what are we going to get now from him then? Little case there, he pedals. He backflips it. Oh, Matt Jones is a maniac. An absolute maniac. What a way to finish his Hardline, Red Bull Hardline Tasmania run. Incredible.
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones in the house. That was mad.
I didn't know what he came up a little bit short off that last shark fin, took a pedal. There's no way that he was going to finish that run without a backflip.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to go for it after a case. Incredible. Only a little tag, but mad.
I don't know, though. I don't know what's more impressive to me. Watching Matt Jones ride the super technical stuff, put his bike exactly where he wants to, or backflipping an 80-foot jump like he is right now.
Look at that. Oh, bang on top. Amazing.
That's too much. I will never do that.
A man who can. So many skills. Unbelievable. So Charlie Hatton still leading. But let's go down to Caroline, who's with Matt.
Matt, we saw you do that in your seeding run. At what point did you actually decide to do that backflip?
Well, I knew I could do it, but I've never felt more pathetic pulling for a backflip. I was so out of breath. And I hardly even got round, to be honest. It wouldn't have been quite the same show if I crashed, would it?
Well, last year you were worried about being beaten by the girls. This year you're just stringing backflips together. What brings you back to Hardline every year?
There's no event like this. There's no event that brings together such a unique pool of riders. I mean, I'm racing against Atherton, Sam Hill, people I idolised growing up. Then you've got the young guns coming through now, setting insane times. Just feel lucky to be here, and the fans are mega.
Thanks for being an ultimate showman.
The ultimate showman, indeed. Congratulations, Matt. That was mad.
I feel like it's so true, though, right? Like, to race against somebody like you're seeing on the screen, Sam Hill, and then also to have the next generation. You had a stat that Asa wasn't even born yet.
Asa was born 3 years after Atherton won his first World Cup.
Right.
Okay, let's focus now, though, on an absolute god of Australian mountain biking, Sam Hill, 3 times downhill world champion, 3 times EWS Enduro World Series champion, twice junior world champion as well. I said to his wife this morning, how much preparation has he done? She said about half a dozen runs in Queenstown last week. So it's blown my mind to see him here and actually performing and getting down this Red Bull Hardline track.
You know what, though? Sam Hill has done more runs throughout his life than probably any of us ever will, so I'm confident.
Except Ronan.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's so true.
But here he is, 13 World Cup wins to his name. And just brilliant to see Sam Hill putting it between the posts again, saying his foot hurt him. He actually came back, did a couple of World Cups a few years ago and really broke his foot bad. He said he's had to put it in ice every night, cased a few jumps, big dab.
You still see him doing these inside lines, right?
Yeah.
Everyone else is using that berm to stop. Sam Hill, classic, kind of finding traction where nobody else can.
Carrying pace like no one else can on a tighter line, isn't it? It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's really kind of pioneered that. And I think
smooth.
Coming from Perth, coming from the West Coast over there in Australia, is so dry, and so, you know, that won't bother him, right? Like, he's confident on this dusty, slippery ground.
Oh, no doubt about it. Doesn't go for the Wombat Gap. You will see that come into play later on. Does carry, if you're not going fast enough, basically you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So Sam Hill now down through the fernery into that difficult right. You could see the rut just unsettle him a little bit on the way in. If you touch the brakes there or get stood up, it will cost you time.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the turns when you see a rut form like that, the riders are trying to get everything out of it because they know it's important. So you want to carry as much speed around it, but what happens is the rider will kind of take too much entry speed, have to brake, and that's where that rut gets formed. It makes it more and more difficult to carry speed through a section like that.
Nearly 60 kilometers an hour then. Through that speed trap, hard on the brakes there. You can hear the bike skating on that hard surface below.
Oh, he's on it.
Of course, Sam is right at the top of the top speed chart.
And right on it as well, yeah, look at that. So,
and staying so high.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh!
This key section, what's it going to be? Vieira leading at the moment with that 8.1. Sam Hill losing just half a second in there.
Yeah, and he's just so comfortable with letting his tires slide. I mean, he's looking better and better down here. This is kind of, you know, once he gets past a lot of the rocks where he can get into some of these turns where he's comfortable.
Saying he was pretty nervous just before he went up to the top. I saw him. I'd imagine anyone coming down here this afternoon is going to be pretty nervous at the top and quick through those 2 turns there.
You can just see the skill that is in Sam Hill. You know, the back end coming out, he's just so comfortable, knows exactly what the bike is going to do.
Spending a lot of time in a digger at the moment with his trail building company as well. Good off the container drop then. So Sam Hill now tuck in for this 80-foot creek gap. No problem, he's got plenty of speed for it over there safely, even setting up and saying that right-hander there is absolutely unbelievable. You can't brake in it if you want to carry any speed into this lower section.
No.
So here he comes then, Sam Hill complete, Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. What a run from the world champ in the past. He goes third, 12 seconds into the red.
That is awesome.
Safe houses, brother. Job, fellas.
So good to see. Valley, do you remember the first time you saw Sam Hill ride? In a video or?
I think it was in the Earth movies.
Yeah.
But I just knew like my dad was a massive fan, and then yeah, just doing track walk next to Sam nowadays, like it's pretty cool to have that mountain bike legacy here. Even you know, Steve Peat is here, like all the big names, and then you have Jackson Goldstone and the young future Steve Peat, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often you get like starstruck, but you have like Sam on one side, you have Steve on another. It's so cool.
Yeah, if you just joined us then, hello and welcome to Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. 16 riders left to drop. We've just had Sam Hill, and now we go to another Australian, Darcy Coutts from Melbourne. Spends an awful lot of time here in this park And last year, he qualified 5th 3 weeks after having his shoulder fixed with a plate, actually his collarbone bolted up. In that qualifying run, that plate broke. It flexed so much, he broke it in 2. Couldn't take part in the finals, but we know this man has got massive pace, and we know that this is a massive opportunity for the local man to do something big here today.
Yeah, I mean, last year the buzz was how fast Darcy was going. It's super unfortunate that he didn't get that run in, but watching his seeding yesterday, he came out of the gate super hot. I am ready for him to come out of the gate the same way here in his finals run.
One of the course builders last year. Yeah, like we said, spends an awful lot of time here riding and building in Maydena.
And you can see just the pace where he's landing off of these drops. Again, like I mentioned, you'll see the riders trying to search for those channels where they can get a little bit of traction. Darcy kind of knowing exactly where he needs to put his wheels on this track.
Yeah, he knows this mountain quite well. He knows these conditions, this surface well as well.
Coming right here, you have, looks like there will be a break, but it's so technical in there. You have to pick up your tires, goes through rock garden good. There's kind of one main line there once you get up to speed. Sets up way wide for that one. It's good. You don't want your tires sliding. So you can see how little roost is coming up. That means he has traction.
Yeah, and he's set up high as well into that next big berm as well. So looking good and clean so far for Coutts. And he is within touch then of Hatton, just 0.2 back at the moment for him. So what can he do from here on down?
Yeah, he's really cleaned up the top of the track. Only person we actually see do that line. It's really technical. Again, another one.
Quick. Yeah.
And hitting that wombat gap. So far, so good. It's probably the only person you'll see do that kind of sequence of lines through that section, even that.
He stayed inside that right-hander as well then. That was pretty clever. Now he goes green. Nearly half a second up for Darcy Coutts. So a good run going here. Carrying great pace down through the fernery onto the highway as well.
Yeah, Valley, how do you kind of balance wanting to push, but also kind of not blowing out, some of these turns?
Well, I guess for Darcy it's amazing because, it's his home track. He knows the conditions inside out. Like, he knows how much he can push and not, and when he needs to hold back, but there's no holding back.
Oh, he's going to be all on this like he was last year as well. Looking nice and composed though. Not overdoing it anywhere, linking those turns.
And he's letting it roll.
Yes.
Getting off the brakes early. This is that key section. Holding it inside.
He did hold that camber at the end. Key section. Finds himself nearly losing a second in there.
And you do have to break up. And you shave distance, but you lose that exit speed coming out that right. So he's going to have to push a little bit to make that back up.
Scrubs nicely off there, yeah. Surprisingly lost nearly a second actually to me on that camber. But is it one of those, Elliot, where you might be better just to run the main line and go faster than trying to be clever and stay high?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Valley? You always want to be creative, but you have to be fast at the same time.
I mean, at the end it's a race run, right? So you have to aim for the quickest line and where you can go the fastest.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, really.
Main line with confidence.
And now Darcy, losing 3 seconds in sector 3, finds himself 2.6 into the red. It was actually sector 3 yesterday where Asa Vermette did most of the damage. He was phenomenal through the longest split on track.
Yeah, that's the section that we'll kind of be paying attention to all day long, because if you open it up, Asa was saying, you can carry so much speed, nothing slowing you down. Good run for Darcy though.
Yeah, it's been a great one. Oh, big one under over the finish. Darcy Coutts goes second. 3:28, 1.9 behind Charlie Hand. He can be happy with that. Green now it's split 2.
Charlie, what is that like to have a race, so close to home? I mean, it's his kind of hometown, but you've had that experience in Leo Gang many times.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool to have the opportunity, and especially on such a big stage. All your friends and family are coming out, and yeah, it's a massive opportunity. At the same time, there's a bit more pressure because you know the track, you know the conditions. So,
that's nice, right?
Yeah, it's mental.
That was really nice. What a cool sequence. I mean, just hopping through that rock section, over the rock.
And look at the
inside here.
Yeah, watch this.
So that's that.
Does get inside it, yeah.
Right. You have to be careful though, because if you end up slapping that turn, like a tighter angle is always going to put more pressure into the turn.
Yeah. If it gives way, you're in trouble. Well, 15 riders to go here then at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Getting ever closer to the top 10. Charlie Hatton leads from that man who just came down there, Darcy Coutts. Roger Vieira there in third at the moment.
The Baxter Maywald, they're local there.
As we go to the top.
Thanks,
for a man that has been 2 times the downhill world champion, 8 World Cup wins to his name. A hardline win in Wales, Red Bull hardline win in Wales in 2018. G. Atherton on track. The oldest man in the competition now, 40 years. And as we said, Asa Vermette was born 3 years after this man's first World Cup win. That's insane.
That is actually insane. I mean, he's not slowing down. Last year, he wasn't able to compete at the Red Bull Hardline Tasmania, was still recovering from that Red Bull Rampage crash that he had that I think we've all seen.
Yep.
If you haven't seen it, maybe don't look at it. But he loves this, right? He loves going fast. He loves taking risks, and he loves doing things that, you know, nobody else really thinks of.
He loves racing.
He loves racing.
That's right. The whole Atherton family are just racers. That's what they are. Oh, good to see G there. Actually, he's the oldest man to ever drop into a Red Bull hardline.
There's a lot of oldest here. You know what?
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
And enjoy the phenomenon that is. Great to see him back from those injuries, massive injuries. I'm not sure anyone would come back from them. 0.8 back only then off his teammate Charlie Hatton. And on that new bike as well, G. Atherton, the S200 full aluminium frame on that, making its debut. Charlie on that belt drive Atherton bike. Is he going to go for the one back gap? No, goes through the side of it. I think a lot of riders yesterday, a lot of riders have been put off after what they saw yesterday, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about it, and I mean, Valley, you would kind of know this, where if there is something that you're thinking about on the track and you don't get it, loses another 0.9, but if you're thinking about an obstacle, you almost want to just kind of put it to the side. That way you can just focus on your riding rather than one obstacle.
Oh, 100%, especially with what's coming up at the end of the racetrack, you know.
Smooth through there.
Yeah, looking fast down through here. Just letting it roll, 57 kilometers an hour, so right where he needs to be on the speed trap.
Really nice run from G, really smooth. You kind of see that aggressiveness. We always know G from this attack style, elbows up.
Over 50 World Cup podiums to his name. 2 Red Bull Rampage podiums to his name as well. An absolute machine of a mountain bike rider.
And there was that other line, so, you know, he was 0.6 back on that key section, but you could see how late he could leave his braking because he had the support of that little left-hand berm before the right 180. So those are kind of the 2 options you have, is brake up, go high, or leave your braking late and dive into that left-hand berm.
Big heavy landing off that single for him. Oh, still fully committed, still trains, I think, as hard as anyone out there.
Yeah, I was just wondering, maybe we'll see G also back in the World Cups this season.
Oh.
Nobody knows, but...
same with Rachel.
Yeah, there's a big rumour about coming back on the bout drive bike. We'll see.
Yeah, a little nervous, Valley?
Always.
You know how fast Rachel is. First hand, you've raced her at Duffy.
Yeah, fastest mom on the planet. Sure.
So G. Atherton tucking down here off this huge sharp fin. Over the creek gap, nice, and goes deep over there. Right to send that big right-hand berm will bottom out both ends of the bike. Step on, step off for Atherton. He's nearly there. It's been a great run then. Squashes that last dub. G. Atherton crosses the line in third place at 3:30.2. I think he can be very proud of that. 3.5 into the red.
Amazing run from G.
Oh, mate. Oh, my God. Fuck, that's rough. Yeah. Are you still in there?
Finding out if Charlie's still leading.
Yeah, what is it's a competitor and, you know, the owner of the bike company that you ride for.
It was also great to see Elise MP practicing early on this week.
And walking away from one of the most horrific accidents I've ever seen.
Oh, the gnarliest crash, for sure.
Oh my goodness me. Head first off a drop. into the nice soft landing, luckily.
Yeah, Lisa's really kind of coming to her own this year.
Okay, let's go down to Caroline.
G. Atherton, amazing run. You're down in the 3rd position. Talk me through the recovery that it's been to get back to this huge comeback.
Yeah, it's been a heavy recovery. You know, having some of the injuries I've had in the last couple of years are pretty sizable crashes, but to be honest, I'm good. My body's good. Events like Hardline just draw me back to the sport, you know. Every moment you're at home in the gym, you're desperately thinking, get me out there, back on the track, and it's so good to be here.
And Hardline is your vision. You've spoke about the podium, the pain, the progression that makes the 3 parts of this event. What does it mean to you to create this legacy of Hardline?
It's incredible, and you said it there, that progression is so important, and we've seen it, you know, every year you build a track, create this beast and think, there's no way the riders will get down that. And then some of the best boys in the world turn up and chop through it easily, and the following year you have to put something together even harder.
Congratulations, G. You've changed the trajectory of downhill. Thank you.
Yes, indeed he has. Him and Dan, absolute visionaries.
Yeah.
The founders of the Red Bull Hardline series, and perhaps you know, you can really see the progression here in Maydena Bike Park. This track is, you know, it's Laurie Greenland saying with it being this fast, it's easily as difficult as Red Bull Hardline Wales.
Yeah, which is just incredible.
It is, yeah. Theo Erlangsen now from Cape Town in South Africa. Had a great ride here last year, actually. 9th place for him in last year's Red Bull Hardline Tasmania.
And you got to ride with Theo a little bit. Towed you into a couple things, Valley?
Not with Theo, but Bernard Kerr helped me a lot, and Brook.
Yeah.
It's cool because the guys really, you know, they take time and help us to get over features, and they push back up and go again. Like, it's a really cool vibe that we have here at this event.
That progression that G talked about, I feel like is cool. I mean, even beyond that, beyond just being on the track together, everyone kind of hanging out in the, I don't even know what you call it, the athlete village over there. You know, I was over there and everyone's playing cards. And
yeah, I mean, we're all sleeping in tents. It's like, you know, going on a school vacation.
Yeah.
So Erlangsen trying to stop those goggles steaming up on the start line. One of the most fun characters you'll ever meet. A little bit more serious now, I would say. I don't think I've ever seen him this quiet. I've never seen him this quiet.
I mean, he has a switch, right? I think everyone out here, no matter how fun-loving, how easygoing they are, they have this switch.
Yeah. It definitely gets serious when you drop into a track like this, though. So Erlangsen on course now. Down that first bit, thankfully dry this year. Last year it was evil, that first section straight out of the gate after the overnight rain we had.
Yeah, and you saw Theo starting to get pushed a little right on that first downhill, but able to hold it to the left, get set up for the next bit.
Into that deep sound there, yeah. Through the V there, land deep as well. That is so awkward. How is that? Is it as horrible as it looks, Valley, that
Oh,
V?
it's just blind, and then the landing is full of rock. Just flat and...
There was that one little rock. So that rock that Theo just hit with his front wheel caught Jackson Goldstone last year. But I think that big drop into that rock section that Valley just mentioned, there's one rock that if you take too much speed, you land right on it, will catch your bottom bracket. So there's maybe about a 3-foot window for these athletes to land.
And just over half a second back at split one then for Erlangsen. So a good top section, I would say. Nice and low over there. Is he going to go for the wombat gap? Need to absolutely nail this long left-hander. Good speed around there. Goes to the side of it, though.
It's also so tight to not catch your pedal on that.
Yeah, I don't know what how hard must the gap be where it's like I'd rather go through it, you know, a foot wide and inch perfect gap.
So 0.6 at that first split.
Doesn't lose too much time, only 0.3.
Still definitely in touch here. Charlie Hatton leading at the moment.
And Theo's really good at this really fast stuff. You can kind of see him upright and then pumping where he needs to, getting the traction that he needs to, using those long legs.
Letting it run. 58 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, so on the move.
used to this dry conditions. It's that top speed. The first rider we've seen getting to that 58 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, first one to break it, absolutely. Big rock stepping up there.
Letting it slide.
Yeah, the back end kicking. That shows you just how deep that dust is there. Erlangsen. Seamless though, third in that key section, losing half a second of Vieira. Only 0.3 of a second to the leader, Charlie Hatton, more importantly.
Yeah.
The big single goes deep off there.
This is where we're going to see what Theo has. There's plenty of time to be made up here. More than a second if he can nail this section. Have to try to straighten out these lines as best you can. Try to go up high here, right by these trees coming out. This is that little line. We'll see riders go up to the right there.
Those two tight turns to carry speed through him. Got to get that step down to get the container drop. So many fans packed around the course now. It's amazing. 1.7 back at split 3, so losing 0.8 of a second in that long third sector.
Yeah, but Theo is no stranger to the jumps. Going out to Dark Fest, looks super comfortable at speed.
Yeah, this won't bother him at all.
Wouldn't be surprised if he makes up a little time coming into the finish here, actually.
So just the finish line to go then. It's been a great run from Theo Erlangsen. Where's he going to come? Second spot for him, 0.6. And a spectacular finish. Erlangsen, though, what a run that is.
That is awesome. You can just see how perfect he was. I mean, really using the legs to soak up all the lips, stay low, landing inch perfect at the top, pedaling and pumping where he needed to. Great run, Theo, great run.
Also making so much time up at the end.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah.
See that in sector 6, cutting almost more than half of that deficit.
You said he would. Whoa, look at that. Pushing on down there, the back kicking hard across that camber.
It shows how difficult it is to stop.
Maybe a little bit much front brake in the finish area, I don't know.
It's like,
hard
okay,
to criticise anyone who's done a top to bottom.
If that's where I'm going to crash, that's okay.
Oh, look at this then. Matteo Iniguez, Edgar Briol had a big crash here earlier in the week. We wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, Matteo, one of those amazingly gifted riders, just can do anything. Stepping back from the World Cups this year to do events like Red Bull Hardline and Fest Series. You see that Edgar Briol, another incredible rider that was here earlier.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a crash. He's okay, though.
Super stylish French riders on a Scott bike now, 24 years old.
And Matteo's last year was 4th place, only 4.9 off that win. So this is a rider that's shooting definitely for a podium.
That's right, and a 5th as well to follow it up with a Red Bull Hardline Wales. So a man who clearly excels on these difficult tracks.
Yeah,
Suits him.
You can see the speed there, like, you know, some of the riders kind of rhythming through there. Matteo just having to soak up all of those bumps. So Matteo on a nice run so far.
Whoa. Wagging the tail there a little bit in that deep dust.
Holds it in. Yeah, this is nice. Really able to use every bit of the track, get traction.
0.77 off Charlie Hatton's time, though, at that first split. So definitely in touch. Oh, and bringing the style over the log gap.
Let's see what he does over this Wombat, setting up wide, get the brakes.
Good speed. He goes to the side as well. I wonder how much time it is worth to do that.
I think it's worth.
What do you think, Valley?
I mean, it's risky. If you get it right, I guess you can, you know, gain maybe split of 100 a second, maybe. But
really? You think it's that close?
I don't think it's half a second or anything with the speed you carry afterwards.
Yeah, but then you have to handle the speed as well, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that right-hander is not easy, that's true.
But they're losing 0.6 at that last split, so definitely still in touch. He'll be trying to make up some this time. No stranger to speed.
And yeah, it's cool to see Matteo also, because we started racing at the same year as junior, and I think he also won a Junior World Cup back in the day, so he definitely knows how to race fast.
That's right. I mean, you kind of forget with how skilled he is, how steezy he is, that, you know, he is like a top 20 World Cup rider.
That's right, yeah, he did win a Junior World Cup back in 2019. He won a French Cup, a Coupe de Cup in 23, the National Series there.
Just so skilled, man.
Sixth, though, through that key section, losing 0.6 of a second there.
Yeah, definitely not scared of the dust and the lack of traction. How do you deal with that? Is a track like this, does it feel like the same as riding in mud with the amount of traction you have, or is it completely different, Valley?
Well, it's definitely completely different, but it's slippery. But it's just like surfing on the thick layer of dust.
Right.
Especially like when you come from Europe, like we don't really have much dust.
No, not like, that's right. Yeah, it's different. The bike does feel like it floats, doesn't it, in certain situations.
Oh, the style is insane.
4 seconds back, though, for Matteo Iniguez.
Just everywhere.
Just laying it over anywhere he can.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's just so much fun once you kind of get this bottom section down and just floating over the jumps. Linking this track together, Red Bull Hardline is just, I'm sure it's like nothing else.
It's going to be away outside that time of Charlie Hatton, then Iniguez, big turn down over the double, the finish line double, 3.5 into the red. He goes 5th with that 3:30. And gave Edgar Brielle one of the best runs of his life.
Yeah, that's right.
So fucking good to ride.
I think Brielle actually beat Matteo, right? Head came, I mean, his body came across first.
True, yeah. Got 100ths in it. Well, if you just joined us, this is Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. We've got 12 riders left at the top. Charlie Hatton leading at the moment from Theo Erlangsen. Darcy Coutts there in 3rd. As we look at Iniguez, just styling it out. Atherton 4th at the moment, 3.5 back. The man we just saw come down. Top Frenchman at the moment there in 5th. Roger Vieira, Sam Hill, Bryceland, Jones, and Gracey Hemstreet in the top 10 at the moment.
So good.
Still plenty of riders to come. A few fast Australians as well towards the end of the rundown. Conor Fearon, 3rd fastest qualifier. Troy Brosnan 4th. But now let's look to the top for Brook MacDonald from New Zealand then. New bike for him on that Ari bike.
Coming out insane as always.
Yeah. And he will push on down here. Another rider stepping away from World Cup racing. 17 years he was on that circuit. Some massive injuries along the way, but nothing seems to slow this man down.
Yeah, I mean, Valley, if you had to describe Brook in one word, what would it be?
Oh, oh my God.
that was 3 words.
Oh, it's insane to see him charge that. I mean, every time Brook is riding, it's full gas. Like, there's no chill in his riding.
No, that's pretty much it. 2009 Junior World Champion, won in a World Cup Elite. 2012 in Val d'Isère in France, on one of the gnarliest World Cup tracks of all time, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And good down here, then up towards that first split. Hatton's time goes by, but Brook MacDonald definitely in touch. Just 0.4 then into the red.
Yeah, and you can see him straightening out, like that Fearon section there, kind of shaving off a bit of time in these big berms, kind of keeping it as low as possible.
And very limited time on that bike, but said he's absolutely loving it.
I was like, if there's anyone that's going to do this gap.
People
it shows something.
People have been put off that, I think, by yesterday's proceedings. Cuts that right-hander there, comes in tight. Like he carried good speed.
And I think it's incredible, you know, the rider's only losing 0.3, so in touch. This fast section is not going to be a problem for Brook, getting a bit kicked.
Yeah, he did.
You're really trying to not touch the brakes here. Every bit of you wants to touch the brakes, and you're just fighting.
You've got to be so clean, so precise. 58 kilometers then, as quick as anyone we've seen so far today. On the brakes hard now. Trying to scrub a bit of speed off for these turns, but letting it fly through there.
Yeah, classic.
And that is the quickest through the speed trap. Nearly 59 kilometers an hour for Brook MacDonald then. Oh!
Classic Brook style, keeping that front end up.
Looking like he's carrying good pace down here now into this key section. Floating across that camber.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna like make up some time at the bottom as well.
Yeah.
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 So it will be tight.
0.6 off. Vieira, fastest man in the key section so far.
Holding it tight there.
Sends it deep into the turn. A
big head nod.
Yeah. Oh, plenty of support from him. Maybe came off the top of there a little bit offline, down with it.
How precise this track is, 2 or 3 inches left and right. You have to thread these rocks.
Yeah. I mean, no doubt, when it goes wrong fast here.
Really, really good. That turn looks simple, but that left right.
3.2 back now then to that critical third sector, costing Brook MacDonald some time.
What is it about that section, Valley, that allows there to be so much kind of variance in the time?
I mean, it's just loads of bike park turns, and like as we've seen the berms right now, they're just getting deep ruts and really, really difficult to ride fast. Like you need to trust your cornering ability and just go as quick as possible.
Okay, here comes Brook MacDonald then. Another Red Bull hardline under his belly, crosses the line and goes fourth, 2.6 back. A great run from the New Zealander. Lucky that kid was there catching head.
Trying to see the crowd trying to get those goggles a bit early. Watches back in. So this is that you touch the brakes a little bit, but
yeah, that's a super naughty spot because it's just a flat like parking spot more or less.
Right. Yeah, because you need to slow down, but right, like if you lock up the back brake, something like that happens.
Look at this. Beautiful across there. Oh, still carrying good speed into that right as well. Okay. Hugo Frixtalon, 12th in yesterday's seeding run. Another fast Frenchman, another man, I would say, that is kind of built for these courses.
Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, he's performed really, really well, qualifying in the top 10 at a World Cup race. Jumping through there, I think, you'll see Frix kind of taking a couple of different lines than some of the other riders, being able to kind of position that bike, use those jumping skills and that kind of that French style, really steezy, low on the bike, kind of rides inside the bike.
Oh, his first drop in, then at a Red Bull hardline, coming back from knee surgery last year, so good to see him back at his best.
Yeah, and so far, really like nailing all of these lines. We talked about that rock after that drop, landing right to the left of it, which is exactly what you want to see. And even though he hit that rock, that is kind of the line. You have to just kind of go with it.
Yeah, there's a big, yeah, that's where Jackson crashed, and there is like a big curbstone, I would call it. Do you need to hit it? You know what I mean? Valley, the one on the right there?
Yeah, I mean, the perfect line would be over the rock, obviously. Is that right? But you just need to be prepared for it. And obviously...
He's up! Sorry, Valley's up by 0.389 then, so Frixtalon, first rider in a long time we've seen go green at split number 1.
Oof, that is, oh, he's on fire. I mean, what do you feel like is making the difference here, Valley?
I mean, he's a top World Cup racer as well, he's like, he knows how to race, and that's what I was wondering, because in practice they're just going a bit slower, and then you come into those sections so much quicker in your race run because you're committed.
Yeah. And it's really interesting to see that. We saw a little mistake there, 1.2.
Yeah, you don't want to slide at all.
No, that's right. Goes from green, then into the red. Can he fight back now?
And as a racer, I think that's one of the kind of the most interesting things is you see what the track is like on your last practice run a couple of hours ago, and you have to make the decision, is that rut going to be too deep for me to go in my race run? And if I adjust in, right, and the rut is good, then I lost time.
Yeah, I've seen on the WhatsApp group chat that the guys were asking for pictures of all the corners.
Right.
Whereas at the World Cup, you have to ask your line scouts to check out the track before you drop in. Where like here, all the news are shared, so everybody has the same news.
Oh, that's really cool. It kind of levels the playing field.
Frixtalon goes fastest in the key section.
Goes fastest, but really overcooks that exit. So definitely lost a little bit of time coming out. Let's see what it does.
Interesting though, he didn't bother taking that high line at the end of that camber. He dropped down in that catch berm. It may have set him up slightly better for that right. So we'll keep an eye on that though. Interesting what the big clock is going to tell us now.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, letting it whistle through there as well. Frixtalon definitely on the move. Carrying great pace down here.
Oh, that's so good. That was so good.
And that looked fast. We knew he'd be creative. 1 point in, 8 into the red side though for Frixtalon now.
I would definitely say he made up some time. I think it was that right-hander that he went low on that cost him a little bit, that exit. Really nice. He saved that. He didn't do it in seeding. He saved it. Like Valley was saying, all the information is shared. So he kept that under his belt until finals.
Clever move. Well, French World Cup racing at its best. So Frix then. First Red Bull Hardline, first full race run here, and it's been a good one. Charlie Hand leading. Frixtalon goes fourth, 2.032 into the red. Well, what a first attempt that is. Great run from the Frenchman.
Do you ever save lines in at World Cup racing? You said like how many people are on track.
I mean, nowadays it's super hard to keep anything secret because every team has like at least 3 to 4 people on track, and everybody films anything. So yeah, you can't really keep anything secret. Otherwise, you do something for the first time where you just hope it's gonna work out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember hearing so many kind of legends of Sam Hill doing that, just kind of walking the track, looking at where he was going to gap something, and then somehow pulling into this.
I feel like Reese Wilson is the only person actually doing that kind of stuff.
He does.
Well, we're into the top 10 now then. 10 riders to go. We go to South America. Sebastian Holgun from Manizales in Colombia. New team for him this year on MS Racing on that new Zero bike. And a man who can be brilliant. 6th at Red Bull Hardline Wales last year. 2nd in Guanajuato in the street race, the Red Bull Seto Abajo series. There's a man who can do it all.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to him. He said he's been riding a ton of road. It's a new bike, so, you know, he's not super comfortable with it yet. Using this as kind of a test run, but we know how skilled he is, and I think that he's just been getting better and better throughout the week. He's definitely got some Red Bull Cerro Bajo races coming up that he's going to want to take that top spot at as well.
Yeah, 3 weeks time or so, we're going to be in Valparaiso for the second round, actually, of the Red Bull Seto Abajo series. Holgun pushing on down here, holds a good tight line into there.
Nice, yeah, really just like precise.
If you do street racing, precision is your middle name.
That's right.
Well, you're going home with no...
Look at
He's up by a second then. Ah, look at this from Holgun. And Velez, actually his teammate last year, the other Colombian, unable to get here with visa issues, but we hope to see him in action in Wales, coming down now.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is just he's so comfortable.
Look how fast he is there.
And here
going
we go.
For it. He goes. Oh, he clears the wombat. And look at the pace he's pulled out of it. Definitely quicker on the exit.
Yeah, definitely. And like Valley said, you have to be careful and slow down. Gets that braking there. Really nice. Let's see what the split says.
1.8 up now then.
Yeah, he didn't even slide. That's insane.
Yeah, and then we saw that, at this Red Bull Cerro Bajo races, these guys are able to turn on nothing. On a set of stairs, and both tires sliding. So him doing this and being able to find that kind of perfect edge of his side knobs where he's not sliding too much, not losing too much time.
And right up there through the speed trap as well. Teammates now with Tuhoto-Ariki Pene. Linking them turns as well. What's he going to do across this camera? He's into this key section now. Runs it to that berm as well.
Breaking, yeah, a little bit late into that.
He's quickest though. Quickest in that key section, although the exit might not have been perfect.
This is a make or break part of his run. He has to keep pushing, kind of get that mistake out of his head.
Can he keep the intensity now? Can he keep that momentum all the way at the bottom? It's a long physical track. Good through there as well, though.
Has some speed.
Yeah, he's carrying good pace through there.
And that's that high line I was talking about.
Going in the rut.
You can see that Frix, right? Like, you just have to wait if you don't do that inside to inside.
He's up by 2.6. Insane then from Holgun.
Effortless.
Yeah, this is this shows you.
It's a perfect run.
Yeah, the rhythm that you can carry down this track. Once you kind of unlock all the features, once you tie everything together.
Oh, goes deep over there as well. Shows us that he might be carrying a lot of pace down this bottom section then. Holgun on an absolute scorcher here in Tasmania. Are we going to have a new leader? It was a big advantage of that last split then. Here comes Sebastian Holgun, and he goes fast as by 3.3 seconds. A massive run from the Holgun. What a run. First time out on that bike, that's impressive.
So good to see.
That is wild. I mean, you can just see every sector just ticking a couple of things off, straightening things out like that. And I was noticing just how low he was going over the jumps. I mean, he's used to squashing this stuff. Hopefully we get a replay of some of that. And just, man, like I said, if you see a ton of roost coming up, that means you've lost traction. So you can tell between Sebastian and some of the other riders coming into that right-left just how little roost that is. That meant that Sebastian not braking too much, letting off the brakes at the perfect part.
Okay, let's go down to Caroline.
Sebastian, we've got a new hot seat leader. Tell us about that run.
Yeah, like really happy with the run. I had a really good one. So yeah, I push all the way down, and I'm happy to not like right now lead the hot seat. So yeah, happy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations indeed. And it was only actually just last week that he got his visa confirmed. Pretty stressful for him to get here. So there's your upcoming riders. Laurie Greenland next, 9 riders to go here. Things are hotting up nicely at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. And this man is back on the boil after a couple of years with illness, with injury. Laurie Greenland back last year at the last World Cup of the year with a brilliant third in St Anne and riding amazing and pushing hard at the top here.
I mean, so he really, there's been 2 moments so far that have kind of knocked him off his game. He has to reset, get the mind back in the mix.
Not easy, Valley, if you make a mistake early in a run mentally to recover, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's just like you need to find out that special flow state where you're like not thinking about the past and just concentrate on what's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. If you're thinking about the mistake, then you're not thinking about what you're doing.
Or you make an even bigger mistake trying to make up for the mistake. That's a very obvious one that most of us have done, I think, over the, yeah. But Greenland looking good in this first split. He's going to tell us if it cost him anything or not.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good so far. I mean, pushing through.
And Holgun's time does go by. Greenland then needs to find just over a second to be back green again.
Yeah, I think the difference between Sebastian and Laurie here, I think, is that flow of, you know, not over jumping anything too far.
Low?
Yeah, this is like.
I think he didn't mean to go there yet. Greenland got offline there, dropped low off that.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of the riders we saw doing that wombat gap.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that. As soon as you drop a little bit low there, there's no way you're going to turn on that rock slab.
So 1.037 it was at the first split. And now only 1.9, so not too bad. Lost nearly a second, though, in that second sector.
Yeah, I mean, and there's definitely time to be made up. There's time to be made up everywhere. We've seen it happen. We saw it happen in seeding.
Well, when a track is this difficult, you know, you have got options to pull back some time. High speed, though, doesn't make it any easier. 57, though, through the speed trap, so definitely moving well.
Now, I saw Laurie stop a couple of times in this section, in this key section, to really get it dialed and see what line that he takes.
The sun coming out for a minute there. That's going to make the visibility harder for these riders. How is it, Valley, with the shadows and the bright light?
Yeah, it's really hard to see through those patches, and most of the time it's right. There are holes and it's dark and you don't really see anything, especially with the track developing after each rider. It's just going to get harder.
Losing 0.2 in the key section. Fast on the exit, I would say, though, Elliot.
Yeah, look good. Able to get some cranks out of there, which I think you're going to have to jump way out off of that single.
Greenland looking sailed and fast now in this run.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, he's happy to be able to put in some race runs, you know, struggling with illness, so he'll just keep building. So I'm in Queenstown getting some good training in. This is the opener for all of these guys and girls here at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania.
Former junior world champion, this man. Some big results all around the globe. A winner of a World Cup as well a few years ago now. But it's great to see Greenland finally back to where he should be. 2.4 back at the last split on track, though. He's going to do well to pull that back before the bomb. Holgun taking down some massive names here this afternoon.
Well, it shows you the talent that we have on those Red Bull Serra Bajo races. You and I were so surprised.
That's right. But when you see those riders ride like that, you know they've got amazing skills. Greenland across the line, he goes second. 3.2. into the red, which definitely puts into perspective just what Sebastian Holgun did. Massive run from Holgun there. A 3:23.3, the fastest time to beat at the moment. Qualifier no, Asa Vermette, that 3:19, still the fastest time of the weekend, and still by a massive margin.
Yeah, and there was that mistake. You saw him just have to brake a little bit too much, really trying to fight, not trying to give up, and just had to drop low there. You kind of have to, at one point, just say, okay.
And he would have been a lot closer to Holgun without that, clearly.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's hard. It's so hard to push and not miss these lines. I mean, the track is fast, but it's so precise.
Well, next man to drop is Sebastian Holgun's teammate, Tuhoto-Ariki Pene. Great seeding run, 23 years old from Rotorua in New Zealand. And a Manu Kang, a former king of Crankworks.
Let's go.
He went pretty heavy at the start as well. Deep off that first part.
I feel like there's sometimes a tone that you can set at the beginning of your run. You really have to kind of tell yourself, let's like come out of this gate as fast as I possibly can. Oh, jumps as far down. Yeah, it's so insane to go blind over that and not hit that rock on our left.
Yeah, it's absolutely, when you walk this track, you get a real perspective of how bad it is. I can't believe how steep that and rough that rock garden is there. Oh, quick around the Shroud turn then. So Pene looking good so far. Carrying great pace everywhere, looking like he's online. It'd be interesting to see this first split time.
Yeah, gets that straight line through there.
Split didn't pop up, off the drop he comes. 17 meters over there. He was up by 1.3 seconds at the first splits, just appeared. So Pene definitely on a big run here now. Goes for the one back gap and makes it easy.
Oh, gets the double-double.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
And I think this type of track, but especially this section right here, comes out of there kind of slightly slower, but Tuhoto is
0.9 up still. He's extended by 0.6 in Sector 2.
And he's an incredible rider at this pumpy stuff. He's won so many pump track races in his career, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is the section that he's concentrating on. Look at that, inch perfect everywhere, using every bit of the track to gain speed.
As fast as anyone we've seen, yeah. Pumping the turns, pumping the bumps. This is good. Goes into second behind Brook MacDonald there then for top speed on the day.
And again, it's one of those runs where you don't see much Roos coming up. You don't see him messing up too much. Smooth through there, getting in that channel.
This is good. From Pene, goes to that berm, doesn't bother with that high line. It looks quicker to go to the berm. And he's second in that key section, just 0.004 off Holgun then. So this is looking good for Tuhoto-Ariki.
I think that also the skill, you know, jumping, being able to ride, you know, he rides all types of bikes.
Yeah.
Big on the dirt jump bike.
Oh! Catches the front.
Oh, no!
Oh! Stop line, it all goes wrong, horribly wrong there. He did well not to go down, actually, with a mistake like that.
You got to get back into it.
It's lost him some time earlier. Oh, come on.
He's pushing a little bit, ran a little bit wide on that left-hander as well.
He's still up by over a second though. Can Tuhoto recover now? Find that composure again. Landed heavy on there as well. Big plume of dust as he hits the ground.
Keep the wheels rubber side down, coming into the finish.
Oh, exciting stuff then from the New Zealander. Rattling around that big right-hander. He's got to hold it together for just a few more seconds now. Here comes Tuhoto-Ariki Pene. Last jump for him. Is it going to be red or will it be green? He goes fast this. Oh my goodness, by over a second. Even with a massive mistake. Incredible, incredible. Wow. What'd you make of that?
That is a run. Oh, I mean, I think mentally as well, to be able to put that stuff behind you, Valley. I'm interested to see, like, hear what you kind of thought went wrong there. Cool. Maybe see a bit of a replay, but I think even in this top section, like I said, it's perfect there.
He was charging down there. Just got a bit too excited, and then everything happened so quick. So I hope he made it inside the pole, though.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, there is that.
Can't.
Yeah, you can't go if you miss any of the poles.
You might be in trouble.
But like
well,
you said,
he is down with Caroline.
Tuhoto, we witnessed some rowdy moments. Can you fill us in on what just went down?
Oh, just going too hard, eh? No, it's cool. Yeah, enjoyed the run. It was loose and fun, and that was all good.
Have the conditions changed from seeding? Give us an insight.
It's not too bad. It's the same kind of, just everything's a bit blown out. But no, not too bad. It's all good.
Congratulations, you're our new hot seat leader.
Absolutely, an amazing run. Interesting, said he was pushing too hard. Is pushing really hard all the way down, it's going to win it, or does it take something a little bit more reserved, a little bit without mistakes? What do you think, Valley? Dan, Booker next to drop.
Man, it's mental. I mean, the conditions are so hard to, it's such a thin line to make or break.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Well, watch this man then. From Hobart, just down the road, actually spends a lot of time with his mum, lives here in Maydena. Dan and Booker already past the part of the track where he crashed out last year.
Yeah, and one of the best entrances that I've seen on that initial rock section, just the awareness to know that your bars are just a couple of inches, so I'm just going to move them over and avoid that tree on the right side.
And a man who does big things on the Enduro World Series, spends less time on the downhill bike, actually discovered here by Sam Hill a few years ago, who gave him his break, riding here in Hobart, in Maydena.
And a little bit wide there.
The man who put the T in talented. He can do anything he wants on a bicycle. He's absolutely incredible.
I wonder if he's doing that special entrance into that massive drop.
Oh, over the log, you never know.
Yeah, right, we saw that on Instagram, riding down the log.
Nose bonk off it, insane.
It just has a really nice rhythm so far.
Nearly 2 seconds into the red though. Off to Tuhoto-Ariki.
Squashing it.
Can he find that time now?
You know, and I think it is one of those things that it's so difficult. Hop in the wombat gap.
And
double,
the one
double.
after it, yeah, the double, making it look easy as well.
It's so difficult when you have, you know, a disappointing result, a crash, you know, the year before. You have to balance that, kind of put that out of your head and not, you know, fight off the urge to just get to the bottom and be smooth. Because like you said, if you're thinking about being smooth, you're not thinking about going fast.
Lost 0.6. But that's coming up to that second split, so a little bit further back now. Fourth at last year's. Oh, different line there, was it? Did he mean to do that? I only just looked up and caught the end of it.
Yeah, it is interesting to see the riders over that 60-footer. You see all of them kind of taking some pedals in the air, and that's just so they can shift down. And I mean, that is an advantage for the riders on those belt drive bikes with the gearboxes.
Yeah.
They don't have to take those pedals, can just shift wherever they want.
That's mad, that's correct, yeah. So Booker in through the key section now. Goes third, losing just 22 thousandths. So back on the pace again. Fly over the single.
Yeah, it's just looking, I mean, really smooth. I think, like you said, for him to come here, qualify in seeding, get that really nice seeding run in, right up where he would want to be with these big names. There's that right-hand line.
That was unreal. Amazing.
Of course, the local.
That was so fast, 1.9 back.
I mean, look, he made up 0.6.
I'm not surprised the way he went through those last turns there. That was bonkers fast. Yeah, pulls back 0.6, unfortunately.
Trying to shave some time going low.
There's something wrong, you get a flat.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's gone soft on the back end.
2 years in a row.
But brilliant to see him. That's got to be quicker, the cut turn, hasn't it?
I would say, right? Seems like it.
We
right?
have got the three-time reigning world champion with it. Let's ask Valley.
I mean, he made it perfect.
What do you, let's say if you were up at the start and, you know, your mechanic, team manager said there's this line, Would you switch to it if you maybe hadn't done it yet?
I mean, you definitely have a look at it during
Yeah.
the track walk and you see other riders doing it, so you have it in mind. I mean, honestly, you prefer to do it before you do it for the first time in your race run, but I mean, in some scenarios, like we had at World Cups with bad weather, you have that beeline option.
I remember that at Leger last year. It rained, and I don't think anyone had ever done that beeline at the bottom, but you just kind of have to trust your skill. Ride as fast as you can.
Well, the local man then from here in Tasmania going to get a big round of applause as he comes down across the line. We know how good he is. I don't think we've seen it yet at a Red Bull Hardline, but I do get the feeling that we will at some point.
Nice one, Dan Booker.
Take a bow down, Booker. Brilliant. Well, if you just joined us, we're into the last 6 riders here at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Tuhoto-Ariki Pene is leading an incredible run of 3:22. Brook MacDonald, Sebastian Holgun there in second, just over a second back. Laurie Greenland in third. Charlie Hatton fourth. Erlangsen in 5th place at the moment.
And that's still 3 seconds. Tuhoto's time off of Asa's time yesterday at 3:19.
Yeah. So room for this times to come down. In your opinion, Valley, is the course getting slower? Is it going to be breaking down a little bit? What do you think?
Well, it seems like in some sections the track improved, but just the bottom bike park corners, they look so much more blown out and quite slippery. So
what does that mean for a track to improve? Like, what happens?
Well, it just gets like ridden in. Like you have more traction and it just rolls a little better. Sometimes in soft spots, it's good if some more ruts are in or people ride it. And also jumps the same. But yeah, just the dust doesn't get better the more people ride.
Right.
George Brannigan hoping to capitalise on an amazing ride here last year. 3rd place for him, for the New Zealander here a year ago. New bike this time on transition bikes. He was fastest through that key section last year out of everybody. And after so many years with injury, it's great to see Brannigan back where he belongs.
Yeah, I mean, this, again, another rider that Red Bull Hardline is made for. Stepping away from the World Cups after a long and successful career. 2nd place in Hapiel, the World Cup Series a couple of years ago.
This is a big run for George Brannigan then. Let's see what he's got.
Takes that inside. George is another rider where he can just turn like nobody else. Lays into things.
He can jump. He can do it all. He's absolutely incredible. And as you said, this is almost an event made for him.
Yeah, carrying good speed, able to kind of compress into that.
Pretty deep out of the V on that rock there as well, but yeah.
Yeah, liking this run from George so far. Good pace, but also smooth, not taking too much roost.
9th at Hardline Wales last year, clean down through that rock garden.
Yeah, hits the rock line.
Good line in there as well, set up nice and wide. Didn't catch too much of that berm. Pene's time coming up. At 54 at split 1, what's George Brannigan done? He's outside it. Nearly a second outside it.
Yeah, takes that inside right around that rock. Really hard to hold before that drop. Oh, I thought he had a flat. Oh my goodness, imagine. He's still on it though. I know George is gonna hit this gap.
With ease as well, gets the double on the way out. Immaculate through there then from Brannigan.
Yeah, letting it loose. I think this is exactly what he needs to do. Diving into the rut. Sometimes you don't need to avoid it. Just carry a little bit more speed. Only loses 0.1.
Yeah. So now the pace is coming for Brannigan. Can he accelerate down this track and turn it green? This is a massive sector. This sector 3, it's gonna. This is the meat of the track, really.
Yeah, another rider. This is it's beautiful to watch George ride through there, shifting down the air.
And right up there on the clock as well, 57 kilometers an hour through that speed trap.
Let's see what he does through here.
A man who's been less than half a second.
And that's one of those sections that Valley was talking about, that rut is getting a little bit deeper, so you have more support.
Oh,
George!
Oh, he's lost it! Ah, the back wheel went out the top of the berm and Brannigan goes down.
Oh, just just trying to just go so fast
what
into
a
that
shame,
left.
Yeah. That shows you how slick it is.
Yeah. I think he made up a lot of time there last year, so when you have a section that is good for you, you want to just push it more and more.
Yeah, well, that's right. He won that section. Well, disappointing for Georgie B there.
Getting right back on it, though.
And you got to go for it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. What do you reckon, Valley? Disappointing to come. Is it worse to crash out or come down in like 8th place or something? What do you reckon?
Well, it's a tough one, especially if you have to hit that massive jump at the bottom. I don't know if he wants to do this or not.
So 4.5 back now after that little lie down for George Brannigan.
New bike this year for George.
Yeah.
Just got on it. It's been a little bit of time in Queenstown where he lives, but so just getting comfortable. Season opener here. Even though he slid out, he's had a really good run.
Yeah, that's right. He certainly has, apart from that one mistake where he was definitely cracking right on here. So last jump for George Brannigan. No 3rd place this year. Crosses the line and sticks 5.4, yeah, and he knew it. 5 to go here then. A Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Just 5 riders left now at the top of this mountain. Bernard Kerr, Troy Brosnan, Connor Fearon, Jackson Goldstone.
And here it is. So watch how late he tries to brake here. Front end slides just a little bit. I think that's what it was. He had to let off the brakes or else he would have slid out. So just that little bit of time shows you how precise these braking points are.
But only 5 seconds back. That's actually quite impressive.
That's crazy. Yeah, shows you the pace that George Brannigan has here at Red Bull Hardline Tasmania last year and this year. That podium last year, and like Belly said, only 5 seconds back. Next up is Bernard Kerr, a man that I think has been seeing it. He's been putting a lot of time on the GoPro, trying to get his lines right, trying to figure out where he can make up time. Was working on this top section, so I think that this is going to give us a good indication. 3-time.
Yeah, 3 times. A Red Bull Hardline Wales winner. Finished 2nd here last year, finished 2nd at the Welsh event as well. BK on track, a man who is made for these kind of events.
Yeah, and I think with the track getting a little bit rougher, a little bit more ridden in, it'll suit his style. Oh! That is too much. He is going for it. He wants to win. These Red Bull Hardline events are the most important thing, I think, for him.
And he is the most successful Red Bull Hardline rider of all time, of course, with those 3 wins. Oh. Looking good. Yeah. Super smooth across there.
Yeah, and he has to push. I think that is the main thing. Riding really good, using these berms.
Flew through there as well. Goes deep over there, showing us he might be carrying good pace.
Yeah, pumping where he needs to.
And he's up by 2.29 then at split number 1. Over 1/4 second into the green then for Kerr.
Yeah, shaving off time where he needs to, braking where he needs to. It gets a little bit low, but that's okay. Almost goes over.
He held it though on the high line. He was firing it there. This is quick. Kerr looking good.
Calm down a little bit for this right-hander and then just open it up.
Pushed hard in that little left before it, but yeah, he was good around that right-hander as well then. And now he's 0.65 up then. So Bernard Kerr on the move here. Down through the fernery. Absolutely flying.
A guy who's definitely not scared of speed or big jumps.
No, that's right. Oh, absolutely
riding
wheel perfect there,
here.
faster than anyone.
59 Ks.
So it is paying off for Bernard Kerr. He worked hard along that straight. And the quickest we've seen. Look at that, 59.5 kilometers an hour.
Full kilometer going inside there.
Oh, he's on a good one here. Can Bernard Kerr keep the intensity going all the way at the bottom now? Stays high on that camber as well. Goes to the berm of the bomb, which we know is the quickest. Didn't get stood up too bad in that right-hander. Loses 0.28 though in that key section. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and I mean, this section, I know he was gonna look at some kind of straight lines through here. I'm definitely looking for him to take that straight line right before you get into that left-right.
Oh, deep up there as well.
Little stab of the brakes, but he can open it back up.
Carrying massive pace again. Oh,
there it is.
Looking so good for Bernard Kerr. Doesn't take that risky inside. Next split. Coming up now.
Great.
He's up by 1.6. Nearly a second faster than anyone in sector 3. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, these little micro adjustments going maybe a half, 6 inches lower than everyone on these shark fins to try to shave off as much time
It's
as he
Bernard
possibly
Kerr.
can.
This is a great run from him. Can he be the first rider to go to 4 hardline? Red Bull hardline wins. Here he comes then. It's been spectacular from Kerr top to bottom. He's going to go fast as Kerr crosses the line. 1.8 into the green, 3:20.5. New leader of Red Bull hardline Tasmania. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was a really, really good run.
And he knows it. Look at that. Close, really close to the time of Asa Vermette
That's
in
right.
qualifying yesterday.
I know he would have wanted a tiny bit more speed at the bottom, but look at that, the commitment jumping almost all the way past that diving board rock. And this is that, look at the front tire, 2 inches from the top.
Oh my God.
That was a run on the edge, but he pulled it off. Brilliant. I love to see it.
Yeah.
And that is a run now.
Yeah.
That could win.
Just
this
like
hard
one or
Red
two
Bull hard.
tiny little mistakes. We saw one right there, and I think he maybe overjumped something just a tiny bit coming into the finish, but he was able to, I think, shave off a lot of time in those switchbacks, like you were saying, Valley, maybe taking a little bit shorter lines.
Yeah, and it looks like there was a bit of wind at the last jump because he barely made it over, but like insane.
Yeah. Well, here he is with Caroline.
Bernard Kerr, you're currently the fastest through the Mophie speed trap. Last year you said it wasn't quite hard enough of a push. Have you done enough this year?
I really pushed, but I was still a little bit slow. I went into the rocks too hot, where I ran and crashed this morning, and well, I was pushing, made a mistake, but really pushed. So happy with my riding, and that's exactly what I want to do. So no matter where I end up now, I'm honestly going to be stoked. So down live, everyone here came out. So thanks very much, and what an event!
Congratulations.
It feels so good to have a run that you're proud of. I mean,
that's right.
I think
that's why you do downhill.
Yeah,
you get one maybe a year. Well, unless you're Valley, then you get a few more.
Yes, sure.
He's used to a few more than we are. And this man is too. Troy Brosnan, absolutely incredible. Came back at the end of last year to win the final World Cup race in Mont Saint Anne. We know it's his first Red Bull hardline. He got used to the features, over all the features, pretty early in the week, and we know the pace he brings.
Yeah.
Of course we do. This could be a winning run.
And there's a couple of, I mean, Troy is another one of those riders that is so skilled at finding speed where nobody else can. And there's definitely sections on this track. We think of that highway, we think of the bottom, you know, where you're able to kind of hold things in tight. And Troy's also used to these, you know, slick, dry conditions, being a native Australian.
And to give you an idea of just how good he is, second overall in last year's World Cup Series. He was inside the top 3 from 2014 to 2019. One of the World Cup greats, then about to drop in. Here goes Troy Brosnan. On home soil here in Australia as well.
Shaving off, seeing riders adjust out of that main kind of rut right off of that. Troy diving into these things, finding traction. Good off of this first little bit, holding it in tight. See how he comes off of this drop. Oh!
Pretty deep off there as well, avoiding that rock on the left as we look at it. Brosnan.
And this is one of those sections, right? You see how good he is. Just, it almost is like he is just able to find traction where nobody else is.
Perfect down through the rock garden as well. Super smooth so far then from Brosnan. Kerr was all out.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe I'm interested to see, right? Troy looks smooth, but I don't know if he's quite as aggressive.
Well, he's close. Less than quarter of a second off then. 0.21 of that first blip. So Brosnan definitely in touch. But you're right, looking super smooth so far.
And I think that this is the track kind of starts to suit Troy more.
Back end kicks there. Controlled it well. Goes for the one back gap, gets over it as well. Brave after a mistake just before it.
Yeah, and this is where Troy is going to start to push. I think that top bit you know, is a little bit steeper, a little bit more technical, and now this, right, taking a crank, shifting up.
1.5 though, he slipped about 1.3 seconds in sector 2. But if anyone can fight back, it will be Brosnan, yeah. Saying that the bomb jumps are a little bit trickier for him, only around 65 kilos in weight.
Yeah.
And he has less momentum for those big jumps down the bottom. Oh, hard on the brakes there as well.
Yeah, and we can see just...
He is trying.
You can see just like the difference, right? Like, if you're slightly off in 1 or 2 sections, you drop a little bit low or stab the brakes a little bit too much. Really trying to find every bit of speed.
And he goes fastest in the key section. His exit was awesome as well.
Only rider to get into that 8 seconds so far.
That's right, look at that then. So Brosnan, is he fighting back here? The next split will tell us. Goes deep off there as well.
And we know this is where Bernard made the mistake, and there's definitely a second to be made up in this section no matter what happens.
Yeah, and he was super precise through there as well then, Brosnan. Can he draw level? Can he go green at the next split? Not going to go for that.
Holding it high. Both inside, way farther than everyone else.
I reckon he's going to be green. This is going to be close now. And he is by over half a second. Brosnan fights back mid-run. That was insane.
Oh, just does exactly what a veteran like Troy Brosnan knows that he can do. Knows where to find the time, no matter what portion of the track it's at.
And you have got to be doing that inside, before you drop onto that container drop. It's way faster, it looks to me. So Brosnan, is he going to be the fastest time of the day? The Australian comes down the line. Troy Brosnan goes fastest, 3:19.4. Over a second into the green. That is astronomical. That was unbelievable. And that puts real pressure now on Asa Vermette and the others. Connor Fearon, Jackson Goldstone left at the top. Insane.
I want to know if the guys get the information about that inside line now, because it seems to be the...
We just saw, I mean, look at that. He made a couple mistakes early on, but just fighting back throughout the rest of the run. And look at that, back in, just sliding out, getting up, still to that high line, recomposing to do the wombat gap.
No problem at all.
And this is where he made up all of that time, stays all the way up by the trees.
Look at this.
Gets the brakes and goes straight. Just go straight. Right to the right, both wheels sliding.
No doubt incredibly difficult, but it's got to be quicker.
It's got to be quicker. You save up so much time, right, Valley? I mean, like you said.
Oh! Another one going down in the finish. Well, at least it was past the finish line.
He's like, I'm done. I'm done.
That's all right. I'm fine with that.
The relief must be.
Okay, let's go down to Caroline.
Troy Brosnan, you literally slid your way just into the hot seat. You've got everyone talking about that local inside line. Can you talk about it?
I mean, it pays to be local. But yeah, I got to thank a couple of local boys about that. Obviously, Dan Booker, Sam Hill, and I think Connor's about to do it as well. So, no, it was a good line. I felt really good up until then. I got a couple of kicks, which I didn't like, but yeah, to pull that out and to go into the hot seat, I'm stoked.
This is your very first hard line. Have you caught the bug, and can we see you in Wales?
Well, I don't know about Wales, it scares me, but no, I think coming back here, it's going to be hard to not do it again. Even though it scares the absolute poo out of me, I think it's a fun event and it's a good one to come back to.
Maydena, give it up for our local Australian rider, Troy Brosnan.
Oh yeah, he can be pleased. He can be proud of that one. Unbelievable.
It does not surprise me to hear Sam Hill's name associated with that line. That is like such a classic Sam Hill line.
The Australians, it sounds like they've kept it to themselves.
Awesome.
This might be the last guy we see do it. There's only 2 left after. Connor Fearon, the full-time now electrician. Encore. From Adelaide, just across the water. And Fearon absolutely can be just sensational, his pace. Oh!
Yeah, he's on. I talked to him after his seeding run. He said, you know, it was a good run. Couple little moments, but I think I've got more in the tank.
Fifth here last year. Yeah, 5th here last year. That'll give him some confidence. Oh, he went deep up there.
But hopping over to the left side finds that kind of smooth little patch of dirt that he can ride on. If he was over on our left, he would have been right on top of that rock.
I mean, the precision. Oh, takes a big hit in there as well. High speed down through that rock garden.
Taking every line that he needs to.
He's pushing. This is Connor. Fearon really attacking now then.
Just so comfortable on this loose stuff in these turns. I mean, look at that.
What's this split going to tell her? I'm super interested to see now what he's done. And he's up by nearly quarter of a second. Connor Fearon's up at split number 1. Wow. Unbelievable.
Brand new bike this year.
Yeah.
Said the Wombat Gap is absolutely terrifying.
It's so hard to time, riders saying he gets it about perfect today.
Makes it look easy.
Yep, absolutely incredible. So Fearon looking like he's going to be green at split number 2 as well. Fast, super quick into that right-hander. Oh.
What are you seeing here, Valley?
0.67 up now at split 2.
What's the difference between this run and, I mean, a run like Troy Brosnan's? Is there anything that he's doing that is allowing him to just shave off these hundredths and thousandths of seconds?
Well, I mean, they're all like such on thin ice in those corners. They're going so mentally fast. Where Troy, I mean, Troy's riding style is it looks so easy and like chill and stuff. And then Connor is just going a bit more hammer style, you know?
Yeah.
So it looks a bit more aggressive. So I hope it works out at the bottom corners when it's more loose because it's easier to make.
Oh!
Whoa!
You saw those flat pedals? The foot came off, readjusted in the air.
Loses 0.42 then in that key section. Remember, he was 0.6 up though at split number 2.
It comes down to this. It could go either way on this bottom section.
But Fearon has corner speed almost like no other. So let's see what he can do through these turns.
Gets a little kick off of there.
We know he'll be on the insides.
Let's see how this final section goes. See if he can execute it. Troy executed just so well.
Sets up.
Hops in.
Perfect. But fast
makes it look so good.
Yeah, didn't case his back wheel or anything on there.
Loses time, almost a second in the last section.
Goes into the red, I'm surprised.
Valley, I saw you shaking your head. Did you see it? Did you know it was coming?
Yeah, he was just going a little bit too far right, so he had to adjust at the end of the corner. So Troy got it perfect, and he didn't even need to turn.
He did.
So Fearon showing us that tiny mistakes really add up then here when you're up against Troy Brosnan. It's still been a great run though for Connor Fearon. He can be happy with this one. Where's he going to see him go? Crosses the line third, 1.5 into the red. Well, Troy Brosnan leading from Bernard Kerr from Connor Fearon. 2 riders left at the top of Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. Jackson Goldstone and Asa Vermette, the clear favourites for this race today. Can they deliver? What do you think?
He saw the line.
All I know is I'm looking at our split times.
Fuck yeah, solid ride. You got sketch on that. I know.
I love hearing the reaction after, and we're seeing the opposite of what we saw with Troy's times. You know, every sector green until that bottom, and I'm looking at our live timing here in the booth, and Bernard, Connor, and Tuhoto all green on those first sectors, and then Troy just pulling it back. There's that wild moment. Flat pedal, God out there. And what were you talking about, Valley? Talk me through the mistake.
Look, he needs to adjust a little bit more, so he's sliding with the back wheel and then losing a little bit of momentum, where Troy was on the perfect line. He didn't need to adjust.
Amazing run. Things are really hotting up here, especially with an Australian in the hot seat at the moment. 2 riders left to go.
And we've seen this kind of hot seat. These guys here, Troy and Connor, kind of battling throughout their entire lives.
All right, get ready then. Redemption man, Jackson Goldstone. Spent all year on the couch last year after a crash here, damaging his knee and ACL replacement. This is Goldstone's first race back. What can he do here today? What's he going to bring to this?
I think it's going to be something special. I mean, He is just so smooth, able to find traction. We know that he's put down some World Cup race runs that are just incredible to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Even despite battling a grumbling an appendix in that first year as an elite, won 2 World Cup races.
And we saw him really push down there, landing all the way up at the top by those rocks. Let's see what that does. There's that section.
That's where he crashed last time, safely through there. Definitely went through that left as well.
Oh, he's just so smooth.
So light.
Oh, and all of these just at such a high average speed.
Split coming up, 54.1. He's up by 0.8 of a second then. 0.876 into the green for Goldstone. He knows that this will need to be something special if he's going to be Asa Vermette this afternoon, that's for sure.
Yeah, just pumping, pumping at the bottom of that roller.
Goes for the one-back gap, makes it
easy.
That's the difference from yesterday, with ease for Jackson Goldstone.
It's these berms, like Valley, it seems like he's just getting a lot of speed out of these berms.
Well, it's just the Goldstone riding style. It's insane. It's like always in the air rather than on the floor.
0.5 up now. We knew it would be good. I don't think I thought it would be this good. The only rider to ever win a Red Bull Hardline in his first attempt. And right now he's showing us why.
Look at that, setting up, not sliding as you say, everyone else's tires sliding.
On the speed.
And for someone so light to do 59 kilometers an hour down there is absolutely bonkers.
That shows how much speed he can carry from those bike park turns.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Oh, just blowing through there as well. So beautiful to watch. The man from Squamish in British Columbia drops into that berm.
That's just
quick through that big right, and he's the fastest in that key section. Of course he is. Oh, this is Goldstone at his best right now.
Just landing exactly. I think this is what you see when a rider is saying,
"Oh my goodness me!" You won't see that scrubbed harder than that today. What was that?
Jumps a little bit further right there. Looks smooth.
Phenomenal. Absolutely madness, the pace he's carrying down here then. Turns 21 in just a couple of days' time.
And he does it as well. Not as clean as Troy, though.
No, but the Canadian has got the Australian line, and that might be crucial. 3.1 up in the last split on track then. Brosnan is going to be under pressure here, I think. Can Goldstone carry that speed down here now?
Just everywhere, gaining speed, like where nobody else is pumping, his wheels are on the ground, you see him crouched.
This has been an absolutely unbelievable comeback then for Jackson Goldstone. Here he comes, a massive whip to finish, and he goes fastest by 2.3 seconds, 3:17, well ahead of that qualifying time of Asa Vermette. The only man now left at the top is Jackson Goldstone, going to be redemption man.
That's
what that means.
Is a run. That is a Red Bull Hardline run here in Tasmania.
The pressure on his shoulders coming into this race is absolutely unbelievable, and he pulls that out of the bag. He hasn't raced in 12 months. That's why Jackson Goldstone is going to be one of the greatest downhill races we've ever seen. There's no doubt about it. We still haven't seen him at his very best.
I mean, just look at this. Just exactly where he needs to be. Look at how he lets the bike kind of come up to him, get all the traction he can, pumps in there, pumps it, but doesn't lose traction. Somehow there's no traction in that turn.
Special. He is actually unbelievable. The precision.
That's crazy.
The speed he carries everywhere. But we know the next man does it too.
Yeah.
We do. Oh, that was one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen.
What do you think, Valerie? What's your reaction to that run?
I mean, it's mental. I mean, he's been away from racing for like a whole year, and then coming back and deliver such a crazy run is
with no sort of gauge of where he's at speed. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Insane.
I feel like he's been kind of holding it back, holding his cards close to his chest. We saw that chill run in seeding. I don't think he really showed his speed when he was training in Queenstown like a lot of the other riders were.
Let's go down to Caroline.
Hello.
Jackson Goldstone, third in qualifying. Tell us exactly where you found that extra time on course.
Oh, I took that last sneaking line from Troy. I watched him do it up at the top there before my run, and I was like, dang, that looks a lot faster. I think I got to do it. So, risked it in the race run. Turned out good, but yeah, man, that was physical. I was breathing right out the gate, and man, big mental battle for me to come back and put a race run down here, and really stoked to do it for me and for you guys as well. That was a big moment for me. So yeah, cheers. Gonna be celebrating this one for sure.
The crowd is loud. Congratulations, Jackson.
Hey, we feel it, Jackson. We know how impressive that was. That was unbelievable. The pressure, he's come back and done it. Jackson is the youngest ever winner of the Red Bull Hardline, although if Asa Vermette does it now, he will be. He's only just turned 18, and here he is, yesterday's fastest qualifier. His first elite race, another year in junior. He's already a first-year junior world champion, and he seems to take everything in his stride.
Yeah.
Here we go then.
We know both of these athletes had extra time after seeing it. It shows you the iron kind of mindset that these athletes have to say, I saw that, I can do that. Come back after a year off like Jackson Goldstone, and this is Asa's time to show us what he can do here at Red Bull Hardline.
Asa Vermette then on track. What can he do here? The last man down the mountain. Can he deny Jackson Goldstone that win here today? And we know this is super quick, gets wayward off that drop. What happened there?
Oh, just going so fast that all this dust gets over these rocks, makes him so slippery. He's got to get back into the mindset of a winning run.
He'll compose himself. Oh, it goes so deep up there. So Vermette throwing everything at it. I wonder if he's seen that inside as well. It sounded like Jackson, that was the first time he'd done it. Down the bottom. So through the rock garden comes Vermette. Tight line through there, fast and straight.
Smooth so far, right? I mean, both of these athletes, you almost can't tell how fast they're going because they're just so smooth. Asa, incredible corner speed, sets up wide.
Here's the split. 53.3 for Jackson Goldstone. Asa is outside it by over a second, actually 1.4 into the red. Can he pull that back, Elliot? That's huge.
There is time he has time to pull it back, but he's got to get back in the game, back into, the winning mindset after that mistake at the top. Hops the Wombat Gap.
So good, so clean.
Yeah, perfect through there. That's right. Recovering now maybe from that big scare at the top of this track. Gets fast into that right hand to look quick out of it as well.
Yeah, I think it's back in.
He's 1.53, so loses another 10th in sector 2.
Back in, popped up to the top of that berm, so I don't know if it was as clean as Jackson through there, and Jackson was just on the move from here on down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for anyone to fight back Goldstone. Doing what we thought he might today. 58 kilometers an hour though, through the speed trap for Asa Vermette.
Asa, a rider that just knows exactly how to find traction. So skilled, even though he's so young, rides like a veteran.
And so good. As I said, a first-year junior world champion. Only Sam Hill, Troy Brosnan, Nico Vuyo have done the double. He's going to be in very good company there. Vermette through the key section now.
Really nice through the key section.
He is faster by 0.2 than Goldstone.
And you can just see him. You can just see the straight line he takes through here. No wasted movement.
And a nice line into that stall wall as well. Gets over to the rider's left on it.
Go Asa! Go Asa! You got it, Asa!
It's really smooth through there.
Carrying good pace through there as well, yeah.
It's so fast. This is where he made up so much time.
This is where he's dominating.
Seeding.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he going to do it?
No.
Goes outside.
I don't think he can.
Oh, no. Also a bit of a mistake.
He did stall a bit in that right-hander there as well. And now he's only less than a second off, though. He has pulled back 0.6 of a second.
We know that Jackson lost a little bit of time here at the bottom. Can he pull back 0.9 at the end of the track?
It's not actually impossible, but it would take something special. He will have good momentum off that top of that container, though.
Pumping perfect, everything perfect so far. A little bit low.
Step on, then 3. 17 is the time to beat. Asa Vermette.
Come on.
Asa Vermette. Good. 0.2 clear to the red. What a fight back, but he won.
Oh my God.
And it's Jackson Goldstone that wins Red
like, that was just the difference between Jackson. Jackson looked like he had a perfect, second half of the track, but Asa was pulling back time. To be down by that much, by 1.4 at the top of the track, and to pull back and only be 0.2, this guy has an incredible career, but for Jackson Goldstone to come back, fight off the demons, you see how much it means to him.
Yeah, Jacko.
Yes, Jacko.
Yes, Jacko. And you know what? We said it, and there is your results. Just 0.23 of it in the end. Troy Brosnan a couple of seconds behind. A brilliant 4th for Byrne, and Connor Fearon rounding out the top 5. But those top 2 riders in a league of their own here.
Yeah.
But Jackson this week, a few people said it, super quiet.
Yeah.
And then after qualifying for the first time this week, I noticed he was a bit more out. I said to you last night, he seems a bit happier.
And we were talking about it earlier today. I think I know he kept his speed kind of under wraps. Saw that practice run on the monitor, but both of them, right? Both of them taking over 2 seconds off that seeding run.
Wow.
What do you think, Valley? I mean, you think Jackson's been saving it all week?
I think it's just like you wanted reassurance. You don't want to have...
Let's go down to Caroline. Sorry, Valley.
Okay.
She's with our winner.
Jackson Goldstone. I can't even hear you. Jackson Goldstone, you've won in Wales before. You've now won here, the Rebel Hardline Tasmania course. Has this moment just sunk in?
Yeah, that's about as close to tears. I think I even might have had one on that. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Except, why are you coming fast?
Tell us about the last 12 months. You've made it look easy. I'm sure you've had some dark moments. You've come back from injury. What's the last 12 months look like for you?
Well, wow, yeah, the last 12 months have been, not that much because I was out from this race, and this is my first big race back, and to come back and win it is probably one of the biggest moments of my life. So, holy moly, I don't even know what to say. That was amazing.
Thank you so much for putting on a show. Crowd, give it up for Jackson Goldstone, your Rebel Hardline Tasmania 2025 champion.
We've seen some great comeback stories in this sport, and this just adds one more notch to that belt.
It absolutely does. Well, let's enjoy it one more time then. A golden run from Jackson Goldstone. Can you believe it? A year away. This race took him out. He's so much pressure on him. Appendix issues in his first elite year as a World Cup racer. Last year, this meant he didn't race. And he couldn't afford another year, really, without being fully fit for the whole summer. And somehow, he puts all that risk on the line and delivers this. Unbelievable.
What is that like to come back from an injury, Valley, like at this level?
Yeah, I mean, it's mental because you have those certain expectations, and you know where you can be when you're 100% fit and well prepared. And I feel like as an athlete, you always know where you belong. You just don't want to say it out loud. And I think the same was with Jackson. Like starting this week, he was quite quiet. He didn't really show his raw speed.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he was throwing massive whips and everything, so the confidence was there. But
yeah.
I think for him it was just like, okay, I have my expectation, I have the goal, but I'm just going to wait for my seeding to clarify that.
And also, Valley, I mean, if you'd sort of had a season last year, obviously every run, high-speed run down here carries massive risk. I would have said that kind of he might have only just had this one in him. Like, there was no point in that seeding run risking anything. So he definitely left himself somewhere to go, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there are no points for seeding and anything, so it's just all about that one race run.
The sublime Jackson Goldstone has come back like no other.
Yeah.
He really has.
Does this make you excited for the World Cup season to start, Valley?
Oh, definitely. But also just for Asa and everyone, like, they all have such a bright future ahead of them. And man, the new generation, they just ride bikes, same as Gracey. Like, the talent and just the style on the bike is, if you can go raw and like so fast and also throw massive whips, that's the way to go.
What do you kind of think about all the young women coming up? How do you defend against that being, having that target on your back?
Man, it's not easy. I just hope I can like dial my whips a bit more. like we've seen also Aries, who unfortunately had a massive crash, and you know, she was charging and going fit as well, and they're all like first year elite now, and you know, there's also some really fast girls racing now for first year and juniors. So yeah, I don't know, it's just gonna be more insane and intense racing. It's gonna be exciting.
There's that inside. Remember, he saw that on the monitor at the top. He hadn't done that in practice. He hadn't done that line in practice. That's insane.
Yeah.
But that shows the creativity, the skill of this rider, the adaptability of him.
Yeah, I mean,
he knew he needed it.
Yeah, and I think to pick up where he left off in 2023, at the end of the year, you know, that Val di Sole run that everyone was talking about.
And Mount St. Anne.
And Mount St. Anne as well. Yep.
Amazing, yeah. And this year, hopefully, we're going to see what he can do in the World Cup Series for the first time. Really see what we can do as an elite racer, a fully fit elite racer. That's going to feel good, Jackson.
Yeah, that must be insane. Congratulations, Jackson Goldstone.
And Squamish in Canada, in BC. Well, what a race that has been. Hang around, we've got some presentations to come.
You hear that? That's the perfect way to put it. Troy Brosnan saying, welcome back, buddy.
Okay, well, let's go down to Caroline for the presentation.
We've got two special awards now to give away. The first one is the Mophie Fastest Charger Award, which goes to the rider who set the fastest speed through the speed trap with a time of 59.5 kilometres per hour. It is Bernard Kerr.
Let's see it, Bernie.
And rolling into the second award, we have the BF Goodridge Rider of the Week. This is an award voted by the riders. Can we bring to the stage Dan Booker? You can hear the crowd. You are Maydena Made. Tell us about those local lines out there.
Oh, I can't believe we managed to keep him secret for that long. It was, yeah, it was tricky. In practice, I tried that inside and then ran quickly back up the track and scuffed my tyre marks out. And yeah, stoked it worked out for Troy. I was gutted to get a flat, but stoked for coming back next year, so here we go.
And in a rider-voted award, how much does this camaraderie just mean to you?
Sorry, what was that?
In a rider-voted award, how much does this camaraderie mean to you?
Oh, it's so awesome. Like, to have everyone here this week has been amazing. Like, yeah, to be voted by the riders, that feels real special. And how good's the crowd? I can't even hear myself talk.
Yeah, Maydena.
Okay, well, Dan, you had an amazing week. Congratulations to everyone. I know Valley looking like she wants to get in the pie. Valley, thank you so much for coming in and joining us this afternoon. We're going to see you back racing here next year. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, now after seeing Gracey, I feel like I kind of need to step up my game. But thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much, Valentina. Yeah, but what a race, Elliot, huh?
Yeah, what a race. Thank you, Valley. So good to have the insight of a three-time world champion, three-time World Cup overall winner. Like she said, I mean, looking forward to her coming back next year and looking forward to seeing Valley race. But this was a great day.
This was a great day. This was a fantastic race with an amazing result. Goldstone is very much back. Incredible. Just waiting for the podium now.
What did you think of this? I mean, this race produces some incredible racing. I think this year the track being a little bit more technical allowed for time to be made up, right? For Asa to make up that much time lower on the track, for Jackson to make up that time, you know, higher on the track.
Yeah, I agree. The track was subtly changed from last year, really, apart from the humongous last 300 metres that we're looking at now. But you know, but the surface was very different. It wasn't a brand new track. It was definitely softer last year.
Yeah, and we didn't really see anyone have a perfect run. I think that was something.
That's what we want.
Yeah, right. There's always little mistakes that people made. That,
and you know, when you've got a track that's difficult, top to bottom, yeah, you're going to see mistakes, but you're going to see mistakes from everyone.
Right.
So there is always that opportunity to fight back, and that probably is a difference to a normal kind of downhill race. You know, This is extreme. This is so hard. If you nail a section, you can pull a second or two back, just like we saw Asa Vermette do.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that too, a lot of people might think, oh, you know, we have these big jumps, there's not really much to do there. Asa Vermette made up 0.7 on Jackson Goldstone just as you come out from the drop down. So I think that it kind of shows that there is the Red Bull Hardline, kind of that idea of technical versus big jumps.
Yeah, it works.
It's just incredible. It's just the best.
And you know, congratulations as well to Maydena Bike Park, to Simon French, to everyone who built this track, because at the heart of any Red Bull Hardline is the course. And, you know, if the track's off, the race ain't going to be very good.
Yeah.
They've nailed it. And I said that last year as a first attempt. And as we said, this year, it was about perfect, I thought. It was an even more challenging, more spectacular racetrack.
Yeah, this event gets better and better every year. You know, we see so many people out here, and I mean, I think that Gracey Hemstreet is now the queen of Red Bull Hardline Tasmania. I think this year with that run, just so smooth, you know, so controlled, just chilling, you know, super fast though, right up there in the speed trap.
Yeah, what a day. What a day.
You just wanted in-house and not the air? What? Oh, no, it's all right. Hey, Jim, can you put our...
Okay, well, let's go down there and see these riders get their trophies. Here's the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting your women's champion here today for Red Bull Hardline Tasmania in 2025, Gracey Hemstreet.
Your first female winner of Red Bull Hardline, Gracey Hemstreet. Congratulations! What a day for Canada! What a day for Canada!
Amazing work, amazing run, Gracey.
Unbelievable. Missed the first 2 days of practice. No bother.
And now, for your men's category, and in third place, put your hands together for Troy Brosnan.
The top Australian finisher. What a run it was from Troy Brosnan today.
Plenty of friends and family out here, parents out here supporting. Been waiting to see Troy Brosnan at a Red Bull Hardline event. Came out and performed in style.
And in your runner-up position, claiming second place today, the 18-year-old phenom, Asa Vermette. With the weight of 2024 lifted completely off his shoulders, your victor here today and your Red Bull Hardline 2025 champion, Jackson Goldstone.
That trophy is going to go right at the top of the trophy case, I think.
Yeah, congratulations to those three. Well, of course, Red Bull Hardline has come to a close, but there's plenty more to look forward to as we go to the second stop of this year's Red Bull Stoke series in just a few weeks' time. Have a look at this. Okay, well, unfortunately that promo not working. Elliot, what an amazing day we've had here. I have thoroughly enjoyed my 4 days in Australia, and the pinnacle was absolutely to commentate this Red Bull Hardline day. It lived up, it went beyond all my expectations, and that is saying something.
Yeah, we were talking to each other about how much we just love this event. It exceeded expectations again. So good to see. Congratulations, everyone. Can't wait for next year.
No, nor can I. Okay, well, we're going to wrap things up. Elliot, thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for joining us at home. We're back in action in a few weeks' time. Red Bull Valparaiso, Stoke, and after that, of course, the other Red Bull Hardline from Wales in July this year. We'll see you there. But for now, it's goodbye from Rob Warner and Elliot Jackson.